but human beings are being attacked every single day. Children who are celebrating what all of us have come to enjoy, and not just the, getting the candy, but the make-believe, the fantasy of Halloween, right? Of course, it has its scary elements, but for so many of us, it's magic. And for the rest of these children's lives, they will remember that federal agents came to their communities, that they were hunting people down, that people were attacked and assaulted. And many of them had to go into lockdown so they would not be exposed possibly to chemical elements dispersed by these monsters. If you watch these videos of what these federal agents are doing and still think they're just doing their jobs, you may as well change the station, because nothing's going to change. You're not going to be any happier with anything I have to say. You're only going to get angrier and want to send me nasty texts. But that's disgusting. You are disgusting to support this. There is nothing that explains away driving a car into a vehicle and then to drag a woman out of her shoes, put their knees on her back, and she was just on her way to work. And don't give me any of your excuses. That's not even proper law enforcement technique for somebody who's just behind you, or maybe they're following you. That's, at any rate, I have to tell you, I went to Paris and Scotland last month, and I came back and I told you that for years I'd gone to other countries, and I'd gotten used to people being annoyed with me because I'm an American without any other sort of qualities associated except for that I'm an American. And this time I had gone, and the pity was weird. The pity from people who had before basically just thought we were uneducated or obnoxious, loud and disrespectful, or all those other things, or just, mostly they think we're stupid. I think that's a big part of it. That's one thing. It's one thing to see the pity in their eyes and to see that they have a fear in their hearts of what is happening in the United States is something that is spreading in other parts of the world. And because we are one of the most powerful, I don't think that we are the most as much as we'd like to think, but certainly with a military force that will make people think, what if? And that was one thing, was the pity, the fear that I saw in the eyes of Europeans. And even at the airport, I remember leaving Edinburgh, and two guys I talked to, like we were just going through security, and it was just the two people I was next to. It wasn't like different occasions, and one night I was one place or I was at a cafe. No, two people, one person in front of me and the person behind me in line at security. Both of them said they could not come to the United States and would not. One of them said he doesn't think he'll be back here until he's an old man and maybe we'll have straightened out. The other guy said he's just too afraid. And guess what city he loves? It's ours. Chicago. He won't come back here because he doesn't feel safe. And at least they have the distance and they have the choice to avoid us, right? They're watching this on social media thousands of miles away. But this weekend, I just got back today from New Orleans. And that might be foreign to a lot of people, right? The way they party, the mystery of it, the voodoo, just the mythology, right? But it is America. And people in New Orleans looked at me with the same pity and fear that they did in Europe. And they also had something else, which was relief. You guys, they're relieved that the threats that our president, they're relieved that those threats have not come to fruition, that he was beating his chest and saying that he would send ICE agents, that he was sending the National Guard, which made them confused about what's happening here because they thought, well, that's what he said he was going to do to us. So almost like, is that really happening in Chicago? Is it really as bad as it looks? I don't know the word, is it dissonance of, or wanting it to not be true, to not think that that's happening because it didn't happen to them. So it almost seems like, are we exaggerating? Are these people are now trying to say that some of this is AI, that the the people who are being dragged out of their cars, their windows smashed, that the father of a teenage girl with cancer, because if he threatens it and it doesn't happen, now you have hundreds of thousands of people who thought that it was going to happen to them in New Orleans, and it doesn't, and they're like, oh, that was no big deal. I mean, I think we felt that way when it happened in Los Angeles, and yet they were being exposed. They had journalists also being shot in the head with chemical pellets, and we're like, oh my God, it's terrible. And then we see a minister here in Chicago being shot in the head from a rooftop with a chemical pellet. And then the shooter laughs 6 more times, 7 more times, shoots him again and again and again. And the people who travel from Chicago, right? Because this was a wedding, a beautiful wedding. And I'm sorry that my dear friends, because it was gorgeous and there was so much that was great about it. But we would gather in a corner and talk about what was happening. His family's from Scotland, her family's from Chicago and Mexico. And I think we were all feeling the same thing, wondering if it's only going to get worse and no one's going to care because it's so far away. And well, that's Chicago. Because that's New Orleans where it was threatened. So the rest of the country, this is nothing. We right now are nothing to people in other parts of the country. And I say that because it's not just other parts of the country, is it? It's here in Chicago. We are all, when it hits you that these are terrified. I mean, people aren't leaving their homes. I was at the farmer's market, and I mentioned this a little bit last week, and I think it just has been sinking in ever since. One of the vendors was telling me that her mother is undocumented, and she's a nanny, and she works in the suburb, that she'd taken the baby that she's in charge of, that she takes care of, that she adores, and took the baby to a library to change the diaper. And when she came out, the librarian said, "You can't go outside." Not even knowing the legal status of this woman, just knowing how you look and how you sound. I know you are not safe. You have to stay here. You cannot leave this building. And she called her daughter and said, "ICE is outside. I don't know what's happening." And then it took an hour for her to call her daughter back and tell her she was okay. You guys live that hour. Live that hour of someone you love calling you and saying, "My life is in danger. I could be taken to a detention center where there aren't any beds, where there isn't access to sanitary needs. You may not hear from me. I may be taken on a bus somewhere else in the country, in the world." People have died in detention. Live that hour of your loved one calling and saying, "If I step out of this building, I might be taken away from you." And I saw the woman at the farmer's market reliving that hour in front of me. And a lot of families who hire nannies are now firing them because they're afraid that if their child is in their care, they might be taken away, put into the system. So now the people who are already vulnerable, already putting money into our economy, if that's what you need to have happen, if that's important to you, I don't know how to, and we have all of this happening, and then we have people who are working, doing it the right way. Most of them, by the way, living in red states. Those are the number one recipients of these SNAP benefits, just so you know. Now we have families who are unsafe because they might not be able to provide food for their families. Now they're going to be making choices in our communities, because if someone is paying everything into their food, where does that go into your community? If there's anything else, and spare me they shouldn't be getting whatever. They shouldn't enjoy life at all. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. All you get is what are we getting now? Right now, what are we getting? You can't pursue happiness because the billionaires won't pay you a living wage in order to avoid relying on SNAP benefits. And life and liberty? Well, we now have law enforcement. We have a militarized presence in Chicago, completely entitled to take both without any accountability. And it just, like I said, it hit me so hard this weekend being in a city that I love, which is not mine. And there's no place I love more than the city of Chicago. And you see these images. Today I saw Lincoln Square, where I lived for 6 years. I know that there wasn't even an immigrant in Edison Park. They finally came for a Polish one, you guys, in Chicago. And guess what? He was detained and released. Not saying we should go after anybody, but it certainly feels like it's coming after people who have names like mine, who look like my mother, my sisters, my brother, your neighbors. And I'm not going to give any job to the people who live in the city of Chicago. We have the second largest Mexican population in the United States, who have created this culture that we all love and regard as the best city in the world. New Orleans is close, at any rate. I don't know what it's going to take. I don't know what it's going to take for anybody else to feel this way. I really don't. Because whether it's the SNAP benefits that's coming for so many people in our communities, which will also mean it's coming for us, because this is an impact to all of us. The grocery stores also rely on that money, too. The people that work at those grocery stores rely on those jobs. You think they're going to keep full staff if now they're not able? And the government Trump wants to threaten grocery stores. If you lower the prices, you're violating the fair pricing. That's that you can't inflate the prices because you're getting money from the federal. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do, because there are Trump voters who are finally realizing that it's them that he was coming for, because they aren't billionaires. They aren't in corporations. They aren't lining his pockets. He's not making hundreds of millions, billions of dollars on you. So what are we going to do? I don't know. I know I can scream every day and cry and wring my hands, because even us here in Chicago, we're continuing our day-to-day activities like nothing, like everything is normal, and it's not normal. And I don't know how to stop pretending that it is. We'll take a break here and come back in just a moment on WCPT 20 Heartland Signal and KKNW 1150.
The Rick Smith Show.
What comes of all of this chaos? Because look, it's fun to watch. It's interesting to watch as they're literally, falling on their face. What does it mean to us? How bad does it get for us? We, the working people of this country, who don't have the kind of wealth to weather a storm, the ones who are going to probably lose our homes, to people like Donald Trump, who does have the wealth to weather the storm, or at least the credit.
The Rick Smith Show, weeknights at 7 on WCPT 820.
Alexa, play WCPT.
WCPT from TuneIn.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway, or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk
or
and Pete.
Patti Vasquez is taking your calls now.
All right, let's hit it.
At 773-763-9278.
I got a lot to say.
It's Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Driving It Home with me, Patti Vasquez. This is me being composed. Do I sound better, Lady B? I was honestly, like, part of the time I was talking to you, I was also trying to find the microphone for you, and it was also getting me a little agitated. Hi, everyone. This is Patti Vasquez. You're listening to Driving It Home with me, the person I just said I was. And I want to thank my sponsors. Thank you to Source Solar for making these conversations possible. 773-763-9278, by the way. Folks are asking the number to call in. It's the same as the text screen. Source.solar. You can make an appointment with Peter Sorellis and see if it's time to get solar panels on your house or business. And there are some incentives that are running out before the end of the year, so you want to make sure you make that appointment. I forgot your coffee. Okay, you have got to text me, Lady B, or somebody. Jackie, don't text the show after I say I forgot it. Text me and say, don't forget it. That's what I'm going to need. For those of you who do have my phone number, not putting that out there for you, but if everyone could text me tomorrow at 4 o'clock, 4:15, 4:30, and 4:55, say, don't forget Lady B's coffee. That would really make me happy because Pride Coffee Roasters has some incredible coffee, and I am really not doing any justice by forgetting to bring Lady B's coffee in. So go to pridecoffeeroasters.com. They're incredible. I missed them while I was traveling. I did cheat on you. I'm sorry to say that. I did cheat on you with a place called Perk Coffee on Rampart Street, New Orleans. Highly recommend. That's Perk on Rampart, right across from Louis Armstrong Park. Sorry, I had to have some, I can't not drink coffee just because it's not Pride Coffee Roasters. Again, pridecoffeeroasters.com. They have the best fresh, they're roasted upon your order. So you order, then they roast them, then you get them. And you really want to check out their incredible selection of bean subscriptions as well. Again, they also have the Resist Movement blend. It's a medium roast, equal blend of the Dominican Republic and Arabica beans from Asia. In your cup are flavors and notes of blueberry cobbler and chocolate malt with a hint of warming spice, which we all need. And those of you watching Facebook Live can see the logo that goes right on that bag of roasted beans. You can also go to our friends at Monaco Brewing Company. My piece is up about yet another week where we have to worry about our neighbors, 42 million people who are going to lose their SNAP benefits because they want to starve. The Republicans want to starve children, people with disabilities, the elderly, people who aren't paid a living wage or enough to be able to feed their families. They want to starve them so they could also, by the way, take away their health care. So if they could just do both, if they could just make sure that you're hungry and you cannot have health care, which is a human right, they would be much happier about that. So they might end the filibuster. At any rate, I wrote a piece about that today. MonacoBrewingCompany.com. Subscribe to the newsletter or subscribe to our Substack. And of course, thank you to our friends at Kids Above All. Please go to oneaimil.org and purchase tickets for our gala for One Aim, Illinois. Our mission is to end gun violence, and we would really appreciate your support. That's oneaimil.org, and our gala is next Thursday, the 13th. We will be at the Hubbard Inn. I will be hosting the event, and I would love to see you all. Let me grab these texts super fast. Thank you very much. Not super fast, because people hate when I talk too fast, and it's too late for that. Thank you very much for the big virtual hugs. I appreciate that, and the Dolly Parton shirt. Yes, this is one of my favorite shirts. If you're watching the Facebook live stream, that's what I'm wearing. Jill in Evanston says a neighbor of someone I know had the baby sleeping inside while the dad went outside to jump in the car, and the mom came out and he was already taken away. And she ran and was able to come back home to take care of her baby. Yeah, can you imagine that? Your husband goes out to his car. You have a baby at home. He is kidnapped. How do you not chase that car? You're split in half. Your heart is going one way. I mean, what? Thank you very much for that message. We can't give up. I know. Of course, we can't give up. 44% of SNAP beneficiaries are white, correct? Walmart and McDonald's are two of the biggest perpetrators of making their employees use a SNAP because they don't pay a wage that can help people support their families. Aren't these Christians who are being killed on the boats? Isn't Trump murdering Christians fishing on the oceans? Oh, they're not Christians. They can say whatever they want, Dogman. We know that. Oh, by the way, can I just say Trump hates Chicago. Do you wonder why? Is it because he fears us? No, we never, ever give hope. So I think someone was worried I was going to swear. I came close. Lady B had her finger ready. She's got what's called a dump button in case I take one out of the air. Okay. All right. Let me get to our phone calls. Jim in Chicago. Hey, Jim, what's on your mind, my friend?
Hi, Patty.
Hey.
There's a painting in the Art Institute, an English painting, The World Upside Down. I don't know if you ever saw it, but it applies to today.
Yeah.
I didn't see any. There was no coverage today on the Ice Capades. I don't know if you picked it up on the internet or. I didn't see any on
the video that I saw today. It'll have they do sometimes the creators will put the date and it said it might have been from over the weekend. I was catching up. I tried not to look at this all weekend, so that kind of hit me in waves. Yep.
Yeah, because I the last 48 hours I haven't seen anything, and unless they're just giving all the media is worthless anyway. But maybe they gave up and they they're told
boring.
not to report. Yeah, no, they're now told not to report it.
Right.
Anyway, the Republican station Channel 2 had Pumpkinhead on for 60 minutes, and I had no Novocaine, but I said, oh well, all right, I'll take my dose of agony. And he went into, just absolutely pathetic, ridiculous. Every sentence was ridiculous. Let's start with Chicago. What we've done here is the insane Democrats in Chicago have extended listen to this. They extended medicine and food to these criminals. Mm-hmm. Criminals, by the way, And his family and him aren't the biggest criminals that I've ever heard of in my life. And anyway, that was bad enough. In other words, don't extend medicine and food to anybody because it's not a good thing for America. Okay, so who's going to buy it? If everybody buys that, then I don't know. But anyway, how they could vote for this? Maybe.
I know.
But then the other thing is the one that really got me was. He paroled just a thief, an insane thief that stole billions in crypto and ripped off people. And he said, well, I never met the man. And then he showed a picture of him with his two kids who made a couple of billion quick, in 10 minutes. And he says, well, I didn't know the guy. I know he had a 4-month sentence, and I thought to myself, for what? Not bringing his library book and taking time to the library? I mean, absolutely insane.
Yep.
And how they could have this guy on 60 Minutes is beyond me. It's just beyond me. And in talking about it, what a nuclear. What is he? Enrico Fermi? Suddenly he's going to start. It's a nuclear option in the Senate. He wants that done.
Yep. Isn't that crazy?
Today he's screaming about it today again because he can't wait. This Project 2025, these billionaires can't wait to starve and take away medicine from people because they can capture them more easily. Think about it, Patty. If you have an ache in 3 or 4 days and you can't get any medication.
But don't you also think, Jim, that it's also, to your point, not just whether it's easier to catch them, but it's also easier to, make people desperate and angry and violent in order to want. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to look at this for martial law.
Yeah, I know, but come on. But still, they'll never get away with it. We got Tuesday night. Now let's hold on to. But Patty, if we sweep the board Tuesday night,
I know
we got to sweep it. That's all there's to it. And we'd be in good shape. How was New Orleans? You have fun? Or?
Yeah.
You had some fun? Okay. Thanks,
all right, thanks, Jim. Hey, Dan, our caller's on hold. I'll take a call during our next segment. We are going to talk to our friends who have a wonderful show coming up and fundraiser. We're going to talk to our friend Evie and Carmen and Soli in just a few moments to talk about their comedy night, Boricuas of comedy. More in a moment on WCPT 820 and KKNW 1150. Thank you for joining us.
You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Mulford. Overcast tonight with a low of 40. West winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Tomorrow, 62. 52 tomorrow night, partly cloudy. partly cloudy and dry Wednesday and Thursday, low 60s Wednesday, upper 50s by Thursday. Taking a look at the extended forecast, 61 Friday, 50 Saturday, and 44 on Sunday. That's your latest Chicago weather update. Currently 60.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
Dive deeper into the heart of the news and stories at WCPT 820 and across the Midwest by checking out our website, heartlandsignal.com.
It's the coverage I can count on every time.
For the latest news updates, in-depth analysis, compelling stories, comprehensive election coverage, live streams, and thought-provoking opinions, head to heartlandsignal.com.
When I need to know, they're there.
They keep me informed and updated wherever I am.
Stay informed with WCPT 820, your go-to source for where facts matter.
Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT 820, where facts matter.
Lead the way with progressive values and in preserving democracy. Your support of the Minocqua Brewing Company Super PAC efforts in Wisconsin and beyond strengthens the fight against MAGA Republicans. You can now purchase progressive beers like Labor Lager, Love Wins Fruited Sour, and the Resistance IPA in Chicago at Rogers Park Provisions, Diversity Beer, Wine, and Spirits in Lakeview, Park West Liquor, Wine, and Beer in Lincoln Park, Logan Square Liquors, and Tip Top Food and Liquors in Westtown. Visit MinocquaBrewingCompany.com for all their Chicagoland locations. As always, no matter how bad our sports teams are, please drink responsibly.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us as we continue driving it home. I was fortunate enough to perform in the Chicago Latina Comedy Festival, as well as the Funny is Female Festival. And both of my guests in studio were also a part of these wonderful events. Go figure, what? Latinas and women? Wait, is Latinas the same thing? I mean, I'm saying in comedy. We check both boxes for both those festivals. Bam, bam. Bam, bam. Bam, 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 bam. I'm so excited because I need your energy. I think they were all feeling a little bit of the stress. Evie, Cato.
Yes,
Cato.
Cato.
Right? Cato. Evie. Cato.
Yeah, short for Evelyn.
She's the producer of this show coming up that we're going to talk about right now, which is Boricuas of Comedy. Am I saying Soli, am I saying Boricua? Okay.
It's acceptable.
Santos also joining us in studio. How am I supposed to say it?
Boricua.
Oh, Boricua. Lady B, was I closer? Boricua. Soli speaks Spanish.
Well,
I am mildly able to hold a conversation and get to where I'm going.
Well, my family in Puerto Rico might say otherwise, but they'll be like, yeah, we understand her.
Same here.
Say it one more time for me.
Boricua.
Evie?
Boricua.
Oh, she's like, why can't you say Boricua?
Boricua.
What did I say?
I'm not sure. Boricua. It's usually Boricua. Boricua.
Everyone's really tired of me saying
I know.
it now. They like you saying it now. It's starting to get a little rough on my end over here.
Turn into a language class.
Well, speaking of which, keep this Thursday open on your calendar. I'm working on doing an all Spanish speaking hour.
Yeah, you'd find out how little I really how fluent I am or not.
How would Evie, do you speak Spanish fluently?
Yeah, I speak
enough to communicate and get across. Communicate. I say words. Me talk.
At least when I'm speaking, I know I'm saying something wrong.
Yes, I know I'm saying I might conjugate something incorrectly, or
and I know I'm leaving my S's out.
Or that's acceptable because we're Boricuas, so that's okay. But especially when we're amongst our people. But my biggest problem, I think, for me is, everything's gendered. in Spanish. And so it's like, is this table a woman or a man? I keep forgetting. Is it ending with an A or an O? La mesa. Yeah, that's just an example.
But some words are feminine and have L in front of them, which I don't appreciate at all.
Well, and it also depends on the type of word. It could be the same item, but you use a different word, and then that word makes it male. But if you use, for example, the word pen.
Lápiz.
That's a pencil.
How do you say pen? Lápiz is pencil.
Well, this is my whole point. Pluma, right? Which would be la
pluma. In English, I got Lily be better at me.
Which would be la pluma, or el bolígrafo.
I can never say
el bolígrafo, which is also pen, and bolígrafo, which is also pen. But now you said el, so now the pen just became a. So I guess if you got a male pen, it's a bolígrafo. If you got a female pen, it's la pluma. La
pluma.
But, how do you know, it's like, who's making these gender decisions,
That's a good question. Well, it's only based on the letter it ends in then.
I guess they look at I think they base it on what's under the pen cap. They look under the
pen cap.
They look under the pen cap to determine.
Well, is it a ballpoint?
What should it be?
Yeah. Is it point? What did you say?
No.
Yeah.
Because even
no.
Even no. Doesn't matter what's underneath the pen.
Oh wow! Look at you. You're so equal. Qualities. It's a progressive. That's why we're on this talk show right now.
That's right. What's under that pen don't matter.
Well,
just as long as it works. Just as long as it works.
Does the ink flow? I'm just wondering. So, because I am Mexicana. And I don't think I ever, because I didn't have, we're not Boricuas.
No.
Boricuas.
Because Boricuas are, because Puerto Rico, before it was taken over, it was the Taínos called it Borinquen. That was the indigenous name of Puerto Rico. And so, well, if you're from Borinquen, you're a Boricua. That's where it derived from.
How have I never known that?
Spain is what?
I was like, oh, okay, Puerto Ricans are ladies are Boricuas.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Spain, they're the ones that decided to change the name to Rich Port, being Puerto Rico.
Pinche colonists. Can I say that?
Well, you said it. You said it. Sin now, apologize later.
No, we got buttons. Buttons were used.
You keeping her reflexes.
She's
keeping her reflexes young.
This is what I'm just wetting your whistle.
She was just checking to see if you were awake.
But first she was like, She's like, no. She's right. Oh wait, that's not.
Yeah. Oh no.
How do I say no when I agree with that? You have to watch the digital version of that. Apologies to everybody. Okay, so the Spanish decided to change the name.
Right, to Puerto Rico. And so before that it was Borinquen, and that's why that's where the word Boricua comes from.
I did not know this part of the history. And so it's Rich Door is Puerto Rico. Isn't that what? Is it
Rich Port?
Rich Port.
It's like they got there and they're like, this door is nice. Wow, we need to stay. Ooh, I like it. This door is nice.
See, now was wow, Patty's Spanish really in Spanish.
Wow, it is. I didn't realize it was at that level.
Well, how do you say door in Spanish?
Oh my God, I'm gonna buy you.
How do you say door in Spanish?
Puerta.
Okay, see,
so
you
puerto,
rolled your R.
Now you got me.
I just thought it was a lady door in Puerto Rico.
Right. But puerto is port.
Gotcha.
Puerta is door. So I see where you're similar. I mean, a port is still like an opening and it's an entrance. Yes. So they're related terms.
Rich ports.
You know what? You get an A for effort. You get an A for effort.
A. That's aggressive. I think everyone listening that speaks Spanish thinks that was.
I feel like the effort is good though. Well, if you want to downgrade your grade, I'm not going to fight you.
I just don't want to be considered a favorite, and people might be mad at me.
We're not going home with a report card, so we're not having a PTA meeting tonight.
I think she is practicing for Thursday.
Am I?
Oh, I'm not on the show. I'll just be running the board, pushing the buttons.
Oh,
No, I won't be
okay.
speaking Spanish. That is.
Oh, good.
That'll be amazing.
Yes. It would be amazing if you did not speak Spanish.
I didn't mean it that way. Oh my God. I so didn't mean it that way.
You would do me the biggest, my dream come true would be you not speaking Spanish.
That is not, I can see what, now in retrospect, it just came out that my bad. I'm going to moonwalk out of here. Create friction on the carpet.
Needs in this world is Patty speaking Spanish on the radio. And radio. Or is it la radio?
Well, it's
el
radio.
Yes.
You're so ridiculous.
Oh, my goodness.
This is why you don't let any Mexicanas on the Boricua show. At least not this one. It's the Irlandesa Mexicana is a problem. Okay, so tell us.
My
there will not be
goodness.
a Spanish quiz or attempt. No one's encouraged to speak Spanish.
Okay.
Tell us about your show.
Well, the show is happening this Friday, November 7th. Doors open at 6.
Mm-hmm.
Show starts at 8. It's going to be at Nellie's Restaurant. Second floor, yes, right on Division Street. It's 2458 West Division. And I'm really excited about it.
And this is a benefit, right?
Yes.
Yes, it's a fundraiser for Tu Casa Project.
Oh, excellent.
Yes. It's a non-for-profit organization that is helping to bring the community together. We're actually raising funds now to have a physical building.
Does she speak Spanish?
Does she thinks she does.
She thinks she does. Look at her. Was she like a cat burglar all of a sudden, Carmen?
She says cat burglar. She said, and you know what? Taking one look at your ensemble, she does. It's like,
she's like
Mission Impossible. She might steal some. It's a miracle she didn't come off of a cable just from the ceiling. Dropped it. She dropped from the drop ceiling right here. You know, and she would have been like, I did.
Helicopter parked on the building outside.
Don't sweat. Just so that one drop. Any moment.
Oh my goodness.
It's a nice little cute.
You look great.
Yeah.
This is the look like you made some effort when you really didn't make any effort.
Come closer to your microphone. We know. Aren't there 3?
There is.
That's trying to share with your sister.
Okay, don't share with you.
She didn't want to share with her sister.
Here's a question all of us have now: is it Evie or Evie?
I grew up with her. It was always Evelyn.
That sounds like she got in trouble a lot.
Evelyn.
No?
No, I was the good one.
Really? Wow.
That means Carmen.
I was the one that
She
stayed
just
under the
snitched on you.
radar.
She just implied there was a bad one.
No, because in case you probably can't tell, she's a little bit older than I am. So it didn't really affect me that way. She can be the good one. I was still the baby.
She's like back in the 60s.
No.
She was
She was the one that they referred to as le quitaron la falda. So I wasn't the baby anymore. So she came along and that was it.
You see her face? Look at she's feeling it. She's traumatized
She was
again.
like growling almost.
Yeah, she's traumatized again. She was the baby, and then she came along. You saw her whole face change.
She remembers the day.
There's still trauma.
Well, it's called her birthday, so that's easy.
Well, Carmen's birthday, not her birthday.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But she remembers. She remembers what the sun, like what the time of day, like what
I
color the
remember when she
leaves
brought her
were.
home. Everyone thought it was so cute, and she's like,
Put it in a bucket.
She thinks I'm cute now, right, Ev?
Yes, I do.
See, I love you.
Oh, that's so cute. She did that. Yeah, I knew I was waiting. And then she, for the
see, I
folks
looked
in,
this way so
in
she
Radio Land, she stuck her finger down her throat.
She said, if it doesn't happen on its own, I'm gonna make this happen.
Sorry,
like,
I didn't mean to
I love her
interrupt.
so
Were you
much.
talking about? your event that you.
Great show.
Yeah.
Yes, we were talking about it until.
Are they all Boricuas? Are they?
Yeah.
Is Jasnaira's Puerto Rican?
Yes,
she is.
Jasnaira is Boricua.
And Alicia Molina?
She's half Puerto Rican, so she's a Bori.
Right. Did she say it's okay for you to say that about her?
She's a Bori. I don't know. What's the other half? Is she Guatemalan or is she Peruvian?
Yeah.
She's a Boricuas.
I don't think that's what she said.
I don't think that is either, but I feel like I feel comfortable.
We're going to have to.
Boruqua?
We have to ask
How do you
her.
say it? Boruqua?
I don't know, but she had a word for it, though.
Did she?
She did. She made
Someone
some.
put in a call to Alicia. Let's take a break here. We're hanging out with Boricuas of comedy. Joining us in studio are Evie. Evelyn! Cato. Soli Santos. How did your mom say her name? Carmen. Carmen!
Carmencita.
Why you eye roll? The eye roll.
I told you.
Carmen.
It's okay, because I'm number one.
Did she ever sound angry? Say, Carmencita. No, you can't do that. You can't make that sound angry.
Carmencita.
No.
Nena
Carmen.
linda. Nena linda. I love Nena linda.
Okay, bye-bye. Let's take a break here before your sister. We have to get a therapist on the air for Evie. Wow. The show is this Thursday. It's Friday. It's in support of Tu Casa, the Tu Casa Project, and it's this Friday at upstairs from Nellie's.
Nellie's Restaurant.
And where do we get tickets?
2458 West Division. TuCasaProject.com. Go up to the tab and go to events, and you will see it there, and you get your tickets.
I know it might be hard to believe, but organizations like Tu Casa is going to need your dinero. More after this on WCPT 20. That was terrible. I felt. You know what's funny? I felt good about it until I looked up.
Until you saw our faces.
It was gross. I have more in a moment.
A better life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
What if I told you there was a relatively simple thing you could do to lower your risk of early death by up to 40%? You'd do it, right? Now, what if I told you that relatively simple thing was getting exercise? Yeah, it takes a bit of an effort, but the payoff is significant. That's the point. Researchers in Australia just wrapped up what's known as a meta-analysis of 85 studies. They looked at 7 million people around the world. Data doesn't lie. The highlights were that it's never too late to start being physically active, and starting at any point in adulthood could lead to a longer, healthier life. Interestingly, and this is great news, the type of exercise didn't really matter. What did matter? Doing something that increases your heart rate and your breathing rate on a regular basis. And that means a few times a week. And when you do it for at least 30 minutes. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She can get a deal. Book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
Because facts matter. You're listening to WCPT 820.
No detours, no distractions. Just bold ideas and real talk. This is Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
The off-air shows will never be broadcast. I apologize to everyone involved. That language is not appropriate for anywhere else. Soli's very disappointed. So his comedian, Soli Santos, joins us in studio. Carmen Navarro, Gercone, also doing stand-up comedy, former candidate for Cook County Sheriff. That's another argument and conversation and a whole book for later, just saying. And Evie Cato, who is producing and performing Boricuas of Comedy this Friday, upstairs from Nellie. The address, I should write that down. I'll keep talking about it, but the address.
2458 West Division Street.
2458 west of it. What's the
Division and Western? Right near. You already knew what I already knew what you were going to ask. It's west of Clemente High School.
Oh, there you go. It was almost like she had to speak Patty. She's like, I'm going to tell you what Patty is.
I saw that, like all facial body, like she threw her body and her neck into that. Patty.
I know.
Patty's trying to visualize
Patty.
it. Even I'm a daughter of a cab driver. I've never been like, I know what the cross street. Do you guys have? Yeah. Are you able to do that?
I do. Yeah. Yes, I had to. Yeah. I had to.
Well, were you running and you were chasing? How?
No, I had to because I drove when I used to work in foster care. I was driving all over the Chicagoland area, so I got really good very quickly on how far streets were, how far west, north, and south streets were. And then, I got really good also avoiding certain parts of the city from traffic.
Were you doing side streets? Like, no, maybe we shouldn't say on the air what your go-to side streets are for avoiding traffic, because then those people...
Well, I would say it's probably different now. Yeah. I wouldn't say the traffic patterns are the same. I mean, the last time I worked in case management was like 10 years ago. So I would suspect that it's a little bit different now because it was prior to the COVID.
So what were they doing?
Well, downtown, we all know downtown, once you hit the expressways close to downtown, it's always a nightmare no matter what. But I learned when I was south and I was coming north, I would get off if it was anywhere after 2 p.m., I was literally getting off the expressway, usually around before Chinatown, and then I'd take streets, and then I'd get around downtown, and then I'd get back on the expressway.
Do you see how she told us none of the streets? Mm-hmm. I mean, like just a couple, 2, 3, like 8.
Listen,
I don't know.
because listen. First of all, how do we give directions?
Yeah,
you go up to the corners. You go up to that corner. Toma.
Yeah, there's that yellow house with the broken window. Yeah. The one where that
don't turn there.
Go past that, and then you're gonna see that there's the 3-legged dog in the yard that's always barking. That's when you turn, and then you go right.
Stay away from him.
You make it right. That's how.
Yeah. All right, that's fair. That's fair. Do you have any? Can I ask you, Carmen? As former law enforcement, and this is not some under your oh, maybe it is. That's my question. Actually, is let's say people are on the Kennedy going southbound, and they're like, this would I cut some time off of this by getting on and off a couple 2-3 of these ramps. Two tree. I mean, maybe I'm heading north, and maybe even cooler. It looks like if I time these legs right, I got to pick up a little bit of.
People do that all the time.
Is it so it's not illegal?
I said people do it all the time. Do it all the time.
I mean,
we don't really answer the question. People do it all the time.
I mean, I think it's better than, just hypothetically.
It's better than taking the shoulder. How about that?
Thank you.
Yeah, that's true.
This is what I'm saying.
Nice.
I'm not encouraged, and nothing we say is you can't hold us up in a court of law. There's nothing. I said hypothetically, allegedly people do this. Perhaps the daughters of cab drivers. Just saying, and our
perhaps retired law enforcement.
Perhaps had it fed up with this. Evie, do you have any tricks in traffic? Tricks in traffic.
She's a bike rider. She rides a bicycle. I should say bicycle.
I will pray for you. I will pray for you.
You're brave.
Because cyclists, the feds are getting mad at the cyclists because there's apparently a lot of cyclists with whistles.
Because they can't catch them. That's why they get mad. We all saw that TikTok.
We saw that guy outside. You got your whistle. You know what? I still need a whistle. I was gonna.
Look at.
I saw.
Now I can't give you mine because mine is my lifeguard whistle from 1989.
That's amazing.
Wow. This is not. So I was supposed to. I couldn't. You're supposed to have an Acme Thunderer, and they would do inspections.
Is that a brand?
It's a brand. And I actually bought 2 Acme Thunderers. They have these are very loud.
Is that
Acme,
the same one that the coyote?
Yes.
The coyote. He used that whistle whenever he saw the Roadrunner.
He doesn't know he's not. He has no more cliff left.
Like
and he's in
Acme.
air.
That's what I was stuck on. Like it's like Looney Tunes.
That's from 1989 for folks watching on the.
Wow, I can see all the teeth marks on it.
I said
bit into it.
Yeah. It's a loud one.
So you were a lifeguard
at North Avenue Beach.
Oh,
wow,
I did not know that.
Do you know Louis Ortega?
He's my neighbor, and
right.
he used to work with me at the clerk's office. So
that's right. Yes. That's right. Yeah, Louis and his very skilled sister, also.
Ay, Dios mío, Patty, I saw that.
I'm just saying, if this guy wants to be MAGA and hate on Hillary, let me tell you about somebody who maybe had connections and got his sister on the lifeguard service. At any rate, not here nor there. I'm just saying.
Wow, that's some bochinche. I'm like, where's the popcorn? I need a bowl of popcorn and just sit here and listen.
You can't even climb the tower. At any rate, so here's the problem. So bicyclists, be careful because they're coming. I saw that they're like if they just think that you're holy. Have you been in any situations, Evie?
I actually witnessed, but I didn't have my whistle at that time.
Now you do.
Now I do. I went and got a whistle, but I wasn't on my bike. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was scary.
It's weird because when you see the ICE agents, I saw them at. I was coming on down Manheim. I maybe allegedly was near Broadview, witnessing. But there were ICE agents on the side of the road, just two SUVs, and they were waddling back to their vehicles.
Waddling?
They were, because they can't carry the equipment. You see them in their equipment. Mm-hmm. They're wearing like toddler-size Etsy vests so they can feel like big boys.
Right? Moose knuckle is a thing, by the way.
Moose knuckle is a thing. And why do they all have baggy booties? I don't understand. Like it's like just saggy pants, like deflated. You guys look a little bit nervous because you're like, you know what? She's a lot lighter than we are. Maybe we shouldn't.
No, that's not it. I'm waiting. Following your lead.
But it is weird to be caught in that situation. You're like, it's because it's one thing to see it on social media. It's one thing to see it on the news, but to be there is you realize the gravity of it.
It's crazy. Yeah, I was just walking out of the house and they just turned really quick on the side street and just jumped out and grabbed the young man off the trailer, the landscaper.
Oh my God!
No questions asked. Just grabbed him. I witnessed it. It was crazy.
Right, because they've told us that they're going after the criminals, but how do they? Again, no due process.
No.
Well, you know how dangerous those lawnmowers are. You know,
it's just dangerous.
Just killing grass everywhere in this city, and like mass murderers, like mass murderers, like just massively just chopping down grass. Somebody got to take them in.
It's so uneven. They don't even it out.
Somebody's got to stop this madness.
The weed whackers and grass killers.
Only the Boricuas can say these kinds of things. I want that to be noted for those who are listening. Well, you get to talk like that. It's the Boricuas.
Yes.
They are a family.
Yes.
Okay. Can we fix this during the commercial break? That's going to be my
fix what?
Can we fix what?
Fix it.
Fix this problem?
Yeah, well, I don't know. The
Girl,
way
I can't even fix my own
it.
life. What are you talking about?
Well, this will help you to divert your focus.
Yes, there you go. Misery loves company.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, those must be all the guys that keep hitting on me. That's what that sounds like.
There you go.
The Boricuas of comedy. Also joining them will be just Naira Baez and Alicia Molina this Friday at Nellie's upstairs, 2458 Division. I'm told it's the intersection of Division and Western.
Yes.
And you can go to the website, which is
at tucasaproject.com.
Did you say at two or just two?
Two.
You.
That was her with some kind of
put a little
she was like Tu Casa Project. What you say, buddy? Oh, it's Tu Casa Project.
Por la division?
Yeah.
Western.
That's like all my relatives. You go, you keep going. You go and you keep going and you go and then you get to that street and the samóforo. Is that how you say it? Samóforo. The samóforo. And then you turn on the samóforo. And that when it turns green, don't turn on the street light until you gotta make a right on there. And then you go.
And you see the dog.
And then the perrito with the 3 legs is gonna be barking at you. And then that's when you know you make it there in the Tu Casa.
TuCasaProject.com. Yes, TuCasaProject.com. More in a moment on WCPT and KKNW 1150.
This is a WCPT moment in labor. In the 1830s in Lowell, Massachusetts, during the rise of the textile industry, factories were hiring large groups of women ranging in ages 18 to 35 to work at their mills. The workdays were 13 hours long and had poor working conditions. By 1834, the textile market was sluggish. In response, the workers' wages were reduced by 12.5%. One of the workers, Julia Wilson, tried to organize the women to get their wages back, only to be terminated abruptly. Wilson signaled the women to strike or turn out. Over 800 women marched and signed a petition saying we will not go back into the mills to work unless our wages are continued. Ultimately, the strike failed, but they learned from their mistake and successfully battled back a rent increase on their boarding houses 2 years later. By January 1845, about a dozen of the Lowell female textile workers came together to form the Lowell Female Labor Reform Association. This would become the first organized union of women workers in American history. This has been a WCPT Moment in Labor. We're working for your rights.
Protect your liver and give it the support that it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. Democrats and Republicans remain at an impasse over the government shutdown, and Mike Kempen reports.
The government shutdown is now in its 34th day, and it appears likely to become the longest in history. President Trump said the Democrats will determine how long the shutdown will last.
All they have to do is vote to open the country, and we only need 5 Democrats.
In an earlier interview with CBS's 60 Minutes, Trump said he won't be extorted by Democrats who are demanding negotiations to extend the expiring Affordable Care Act subsidies. Trump predicted Democrats will capitulate to Republicans. Mike Kempen, Washington.
The Trump administration is indicating in court that it will only partially fund the federal food assistance program SNAP. This after a pair of federal judges ruled it must be kept running. It's not clear how much beneficiaries will receive or when they'll see funds in their debit cards. The Red Cross says Israel's returned the bodies of 45 Palestinians. This a day after militants returned the remains of 3 Israeli soldiers killed in the Hamas-led October 2023 attacks. So far, the remains of 20 hostages have been handed over, with 8 still in Gaza. Meantime, Joe Fetterman reports an uproar in Israel.
Yifat Tomer Yerushalmi was forced to resign over the weekend after acknowledging that she had authorized the leak of a video showing Israeli soldiers appearing to sexually abuse a Palestinian inmate. Tomer Yerushalmi said she wanted the public to understand just how serious this case was. She didn't want people to think that the army is just arbitrarily punishing its soldiers. However, Israel's right-wing government has come down hard on her, with many top officials siding with the soldiers. Israel's defense minister accused her of committing what he says a blood libel.
And in Michigan, 2 men charged with terrorism-related crimes after federal authorities seized a cache of weapons last week. A criminal complaint says the men were inspired by the Islamic State group. This is AP News. Seth Sutel now with the AP Markets Report.
NVIDIA and other superstar AI stocks propped up Wall Street. The S&P 500 rose 0.2% Monday, even though most stocks within the index fell. The Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 226 points. It's about 0.5%. The Nasdaq Composite rose 0.5%. NVIDIA was the strongest force pushing the market higher, much as it has been throughout the year. The AI chip giant climbed 2.2%. Amazon, another beneficiary of the artificial intelligence boom, rallied 4% after announcing a deal with ChatGPT parent OpenAI. Those gains helped offset a big loss for Kimberly-Clark, which fell more than 14% after saying it would buy Tylenol maker Kenvue. Seth Sutel, New York.
For the year, the S&P's up 16.5%, the Dow more than 11%, and the Nasdaq more than 23%.
This is 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and streaming worldwide at WCPT820.com. We are Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter. Now, your WCPT 820 weather update.
From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Mulford. Overcast tonight with a low of 40. West winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Tomorrow, 62. 52 tomorrow night, partly cloudy. Partly cloudy and dry Wednesday and Thursday. Low 60s Wednesday, upper 50s by Thursday. Taking a look at the extended forecast, 61 Friday, 50 Saturday, and 44 on Sunday. That's your latest Chicago weather update. Currently, 60.
Plug into powerful savings on rough electrical products at Menards. Zero Wire is American-owned and a leading manufacturer of building wire for residential, commercial, and industrial applications. Save time with Menards' convenient pre-cut lengths of wire and cable in stock and ready to take home today. Hurry into Menards and save big on Zero Wire products. Plus, you can visit Menards.com and check out all of our other great deals happening this week.
Save big money at
As farmers and ranchers, stewardship of the land comes naturally. Your work keeps our water clean, improves the soil, and enhances wildlife habitat. It also provides countless benefits, not just for you and your family, but for millions of Americans who depend on this region every day without even realizing it. Thank you for being stewards of America's prairie for all of us. Take a moment to find out how conservation pays. Visit conservationpays.org.
Hey Google, play WCPT.
Streaming Chicago's progressive talk from TuneIn.
Driving it home with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez. From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing ass says, she's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us as we drive it home. I'm your host, Patti Vasquez, and I want to say hello to our friends listening in the evenings on KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul. We're looking forward to coming up and visiting again, hopefully doing a comedy show. Maybe I bring the Boricuas of comedy with me, and I have them in studio. We have Soli Santos, comedian Soli Santos, Carmen Navarro, Gercone, also former candidate for Cook County Sheriff, and producer, promoter, and a comedian on the show, the Boricuas of comedy. We have Evie, Cato.
Thank you.
And this is to benefit the Tu Casa Project.
The Tu Casa Project.
Excellent. So go to tucasaproject.com for tickets and information about the show, which will be this Friday at 7 p.m. It's going to be at 2458 West Division, right at the corner of.
And that's 2 as in T-U, not the number 2.
Thank you.
It's T-U-C-A-S-A.
Your house.
Oh, Tu Casa. I apologize. And that's completely understandable.
Just to clarify for people out there.
Like your casa house.
Yes.
Tu Casa. See, I got that right?
Yeah,
yes.
very good.
Project. It's beautiful.
Project. Project.com.
Oh, dear. That show is at 7 on Friday, upstairs at Nellie's. And we want to thank our sponsors, Source Solar. Go to Source Solar. Make an appointment with Peter Sorellis. Maybe it's time to get solar panels on your house. It will save you. As we all know, prices for electricity are going up. I don't know if you noticed, but it's true. Go to source.solar and find out if it's time to get solar panels on your house or business. Thank you to our friends at Minocqua Brewing Company. My latest column is up. Trump says it would be an honor to feed you in his latest con. That's available on Substack under MinocquaBrewingCompany.com, or sign up for the newsletter on their website. Order some mocha. It's Mocha Monday, so order some woke coffee, maybe some cool progressive T-shirts or beer or wine. I don't know if I have anything to send home with you. I'll check the fridge.
Did you feel my stare? Was I burning through yours as you went?
I was like,
I love my beer.
I just spasm. It's a little bit of voodoo just happened.
There is just a bad. Un poco de santeria.
A little bit happened right there. I felt a little bit of a spasm right there, and it hurt me a lot. I will check during the break.
Thank you.
So go to MinocquaBrewingCompany.com. We also want to thank our friends at Pride Coffee Roasters. Go to PrideCoffeeRoasters.com and maybe order one of their bean subscriptions. And they have their wonderful The Resist Movement blend. Together, we drink coffee in solidarity. This medium roast is an equal blend of our Dominican Republic and Arabica beans. And from Asia, in your cup are flavors and notes of blueberry cobbler and chocolate malt with a hint of warming spice. I did not bring coffee either for any of you. Please don't look at me like that.
Evelyn's drooling. Evie's drooling. She's a coffee person.
What kind of a coffee person are you? Like a French press, the drip coffee?
I'm a drip coffee.
Drip coffee?
Person,
yeah. From home?
From home.
Yeah. Any cream or sugar? Cream or sugar?
Just a little bit of cream.
Just a little. Me too. Yeah, just a little bit. Although they were saying they recommend that folks first try their coffee black because you'll be surprised at how much you enjoy it without anything added. Mm-hmm. Just saying.
No, thanks. That is true.
That's how I like my men.
I mean,
well, look at how serious you got when you said it. Pues mira.
Apparently Evie does too.
Yes, we know that.
Yes.
Control yourselves. I might need to leave the room for a moment because mine is. That's why I said lots of cream, extra sugar. I don't know. Mine is an Italian Irishman, so
okay. That's dangerous too. I was at a Mexican Scottish wedding this weekend.
Wow.
They had a second line in New Orleans with the mariachi in the front and bagpipers in the back.
That must have been awesome.
That's America.
That's
That was
awesome.
amazing. And the wedding planner said in her 30 years she had never seen that blend before.
That's awesome.
So that was very cool. Yeah,
That's awesome.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I did not take. I was in charge. I was the groomsman's handler.
What?
What does that do?
You know what?
I'm afraid to ask.
What?
I should be clear about this. The groomsman was a Scotty Terrier.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Okay.
Got it. Okay. Thank you so much.
Wow.
I'm like, thank you for clarifying.
Excuse me. I thought
because
this...
that sounded like a prepper or whatever they were saying.
Like, what is
fluffer? That's
yes,
a fluffer.
I'm like that. I said prepper because I was trying to stay away from the other one.
Now, would you read that romance novel, The Groomsman Handler?
I think we're getting close to the 7-second delay thing because I see her getting nervous.
Is looking
back
at
there.
us like,
You're getting
you?
nervous. Oh yeah, she's getting nervous.
It was like yes, the groomsman was a
Lady B's getting nervous back there, Patty.
Oh my God. So I was I escorted Fergus down the aisle.
Oh, that's so cute.
He was the ring bearer actually. He was the best man and the ring bearer. Yeah, the whole thing. And the maid of honor was a Lola, a lovely Chihuahua, wearing her finest Mexican dress and sombrero.
Oh my gosh, they really did go all out.
It was a little bit crazy. I mean, like they didn't hire the dogs for the wedding.
More power to them.
Yeah, Fergus
that's
and
all right.
Lola.
In this day and age, whatever you have to do to have fun and enjoy your moment, I'm all for it.
It's just weird to be someone's friend and go, I love you, Patty. I just would rather have my dog as my maid of honor. It's just a little bit. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Your feelings were hurt a little bit.
Well, and also still being like, where's my shoes? Do you have my purse? Do you have my phone? Like I'm like, talk to Lola. She's your ride or die, apparently. Like, why am I involved?
Did she throw your bachelorette party? I don't think so.
Just saying.
They won't even allow her in the bar.
The mess she made last time.
Oh, yes.
It's all fun and games until you forget the pooper scooper.
That was so funny. The bridesmaid's handler looked at me and she goes, do you have any plastic bags? I'm like, why, are you okay? She's like, no, for their poo. I'm like, I was not told that this was part of my responsibilities. Like, what is happening? Do you have any plastic? The dog is supposed to be cute, look cute, keep the kilt on. That's all my job is right now. There was at one point, okay, I don't know how much else
my Lord.
I just had an image.
Oh, that's what oh my God.
Coming down the aisle.
I mean, right? Fergus was a perfect gentleman.
Oh,
that's nice. He didn't lift his leg at all walking down the aisle.
He knew his job. Because his handler knew what she was doing.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
I did. I had the,
So they gave the terror the Mexican handler. They gave the Chihuahua
to somebody else. The white girl. Yeah, the white girl had the. Seriously, the. Because
diversity.
You know how we are with the Scottish.
I do. I know. I know how you.
Oh my goodness.
I got you. I like my Irish cream too.
I did not tell you I was going to a Scottish wedding. I didn't want to tell you to come to New Orleans, Soli. There were no single Scottishmen. There were I'm just sorry. Just Fergus is adorable, but he's neutered.
Why are we even talking about this thing?
There's a comedian in Edinburgh who makes these videos about how if you have a American boyfriend who makes you pay half, and like you sent me those videos of like how he would ruin you on the ruins.
Yes. Oh yes. That was hilarious when he did that.
Yes, they're very sexy videos. I mean, no, he's just funny.
No, it's not visually sexy. It's what he says.
Yeah, what he'll do to you.
Yeah,
what
what
he'll
he'll
do
do to you.
scream,
Yeah. If you go visit him in Scotland
or any of the Scotsmen, he basically said like
the Scotsmen would treat the American ladies nicer
than we're being treated here.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well,
I believe
he goes through a whole list.
If they're terriers or any indication.
Take a trip.
I mean, the Chihuahua's like.
I mean, I feel like this. I haven't been to Scotland. The closest I've been to was Ireland. I don't know the accuracy of that, but I'm open to to finding out.
I think we're planning a trip. We're planning a trip to Scotland. Have you been to Scotland?
And you're gonna
I could be your handler because I am.
And then I could be somebody else's handler.
I mean,
we
handle
just
what
got to
you
go
need.
there, and then I can meet him. And then we handle.
The comedy show is this Friday.
Behave yourself, Patricia.
It's Patricia.
Oh,
I
I'm sorry.
didn't
That's
realize
right.
that much.
Patricia. That's
Patricia.
true.
Dora.
Patricia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay then. At any rate, yes, it was a lovely wedding.
That's nice.
Yeah, very good.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yes, it was so funny because the bride's. Is it always like this? Do they do like the wedding cake is like a big cake and then like also here's the groom's cake kind of a thing like they had, or a side cake or something? Yes,
No, I've seen where people have the smaller cake just for the bride and groom.
Okay.
And then they keep that. And then the bigger cake is for the reception. But I've never seen like the groom gets his own stinking
I've never
cake.
seen that either.
Well,
right,
they want a red flag.
no. They wanted a Scottish. They had a Scottish cake, and then the wedding cake had sort of like the traditional Mexican colors, like red, white, and green.
Okay.
Like flowers coming down the cake. There was.
Got it.
I'll show you the pictures during the break of everything.
curious.
It was a lot. It was fantastic.
Oh, wow. It sounds like it.
And the theme was Mexican Gothic. So because it was Day of the Dead.
Nice. Remember I told you I went to.
Oh,
I
that's
went
right.
to
Yes.
a boyfriend that I had, Mexican, and his brother was getting married, and his bride to be, lovely blonde chick from Wisconsin. But she wanted the wedding reception to actually be like a costume party, and we were geeked for it. We were like, this is going to be amazing. And then I guess the family wasn't happy about it, but she made her wedding cake La Virgen de Guadalupe.
Oh my goodness.
As a skull, as a skeleton with flames around her, and the cherubs were skeletons with wings.
Oh my God.
I showed
She
Patty
showed them.
I show Patty the picture.
Here's the bride and groom if you want to pass that just before we go to the break. And then I'll pull up the best man and
Oh,
isn't that
this
cute?
is beautiful.
Right, look at that dress. Look at that.
Dress.
The hair dress, the kilt. Yes, it was.
Oh
and
my
they were in a
God.
courtyard. That was after the ceremony with the sun going down.
Wow,
in
that
courtyard.
is beautiful. They both look fantastic.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah, just a little bit of a taste of what the wedding looked like.
I went to a wedding in Ireland, and the groomsmen were all wearing kilts, and I had never seen such beautiful kilts as I
isn't that
had
gorgeous?
in Ireland. Was just absolutely the rental place had some on display in the window, and the ones that were on the window were even 10 times. I was like, these are the most beautiful. Like the whole outfit was just absolutely. They were absolutely
Were you there
gorgeous.
for a wedding when you went?
I'm sorry. I went to Ireland for a wedding. Yeah.
I want to go to Ireland. Let's do a UK tour, ladies.
Okay.
We were trying to figure out like a comedy tour.
Let's do it.
We decided that self-deported comedy tour would not be great because then we might
that's
actually
probably
not
weird.
be let back in.
Probably be
So I'm
weird.
saying.
They'll be like, you guys did it.
Thank you.
You did it. I'd be like, yeah, but I'm Puerto Rican. It doesn't matter.
You self-deported.
Your last name's Spanish.
Who's
That's
funny now?
guilty enough. Ooh. This is weird now.
It's the Boricuas of comedy this Friday night in support of Tu Casa Project. You can go to tucasaproject.com. That's T-U as in your casa, house. Not that, but tucasaproject.com. And the show is at 7 o'clock at 2458 West Division, which is at the intersection of Division and Western, upstairs at Nellie's. More after this on WCPT 820, KKNW 1150, and KTNF AM 950 with Soli, Santos, Carmen, Navarro, Gercone, and Evie, Cato. We're right back. I have to push this button now.
If you're purchasing a new home and working with Rocket Mortgage, listen very closely. Carly, 54, first-time home buyer, income 65 G's a year. Contacted Rocket Mortgage for a mortgage. Rocket locked her into a 25-year fixed FHA loan at 6.125%, which sounds great until I reviewed Rocket's loan documents. Carly didn't know Rocket placed her into a 25-year fixed loan, not a 30-year fixed loan like she wanted. Carly also didn't know Rocket Mortgage charged her over $5,000 to lower her rate. I explained why I thought it wasn't in her financial best interest to buy down the rate, and that's why Team Hochberg, not Rocket Mortgage, will be helping Carly with her mortgage. Let's review. Rocket Mortgage placed Carly into a loan she didn't want and didn't understand why Rocket charged her to secure a lower rate. If you want to work with a lender you can trust, give us a call now at 855-563-2843 or visit 56david.com, 855-563-2843 or visit our website 56david.com, lower.com, equal housing lender, MLS 1124061.
WCPT replay.
I am, of course, thrilled to be joined by Simon Rosenberg. There is an incredible body of language and thought and argumentation around encouraging violence on the right against those other people. There is no such ideology on the left. It just doesn't exist. In fact, our movement is desperately, ferociously fighting to preserve rule of law and democracy. Battling liberalism is the central undertaking of our collective project. And we've seen millions and millions and millions of people this year, tens of millions, protest legally without any incident. It's incredible how many people have been on the street this year with no incidents of any kind. All of this is we're channeling our frustrations in the way that you do in a democracy.
Keep listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
WCPT 820, Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk
or Pete.
Welcome back to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
I don't know if this off-air conversation is permissible, so I shall not broach it until after the half-hour break. Joining me in the studio are the comedians you will see this Friday at the Boricuas of Comedy, 7 o'clock show upstairs at Nellie's, 2458 West Division, right there at Western and Division. Joining Soli, Santos, Carmen, Navarro, Gercone, Evie, Cato will also be Jasnaira Baez and Alicia Molina. Am I missing anybody? Am I missing?
No, that sounded like everyone does. Yeah. Well, I'm not really a comic, so don't call me that. I'm a bullied little sister.
You're
is what I am.
That's being forced.
No, I'm a bullied little sister that's being forced.
You're a survivor
because her big sister has spent her entire life.
Hold on, let me call the therapist for the
show.
I
know. I was just gonna say,
abused by forcing me to do things. Whatever.
Oh, you jumped
my story.
Evie, for those of you who are trying to keep track, Evie is Carmen's big sister, and the day that Carmen came home was the day that Evie's soul died. She's been angry ever since.
She has been.
Okay, I have to ask, only because I didn't get a chance to celebrate Halloween in Chicago. Are you a horror movie fan? Any one of you?
I'm not really a horror movie fan. I feel like my daily life is stressful enough, and so I don't need the stress. But I have watched some horror movies, and I like more like suspense thrillers.
Someone was saying recently there aren't enough movies, and I think maybe if we just think about it, we get locked into it, but there isn't like a basic instinct type of genre, like the revenge. Like Taken is a great.
Yeah, like Silence of the Lambs. Like
that's kind of
that was
like
scary. That was too much.
I thought you guys were all like, but that's
good. It's a great movie.
That's where I'm gonna go. That is, I like the Get Out.
Get Out. That's what I was thinking.
Get Out.
I see what you're saying now. That's sort of both suspense, horror, a little bit.
I can't do scary.
I don't like I'm not one for like the bloody gore.
Did you grow up watching that? Like, do you remember when Exorcist came out? Did your family watch that?
No, but I will say, like, for Poltergeist, like, for me, this is a side note. My father used to work at the Westin Hotel on Michigan Avenue. So he was around a lot of famous people and like athletes and all that, so he would tell my brothers and I stories. But when Poltergeist, after that came out, the little girl, they were here for I think
Poltergeist 3.
Yeah. And then she died here, or I think she was sick. She was sick here, and then I think she ended up leaving, and then she died not long after leaving. Yeah, she was only 12.
Oh, several of the cast members.
Yeah, several of them.
Yeah, a lot of them. Yes, and not in good ways. But she was only 12 when she passed away, and I do remember like that movie. Kind of the fiction of it kind of like was lost on me when my dad's telling me. I just remember him saying when he saw her at the hotel, I remember him just saying like, she doesn't look good. And this was before like anybody knew anything that she was sick. And he was like, she does. He said she was like, she looks awful. And I remember thinking, that's a horrible thing to say about a child.
Because she was swollen from like, the medications she was taking. Her
and
face
that's
was really...
what it was that he didn't, my father, especially back then, I think his English has gotten... that was like 40 plus years ago. So his English has definitely gotten better. I think his lack of vocabulary, he was limited in terms of how to describe the fact that she just didn't look healthy. And he was more like, she looked awful. And I remember thinking, she's just a kid, but then like a month later she died.
Yeah, it was horrible. She had like a kidney disease. I think it was.
I thought it was a bowel obstruction.
Was that? Oh, maybe.
I think it was.
I don't know.
May have been some kind of bowel obstruction, and she died on the operating table. They had taken her to Children Memorial, and they didn't.
She was.
That's
you're
why
right.
they
she
sued.
was misdiagnosed. Well, she was misdiagnosed with Crohn's disease, and when she fell ill, her symptoms were casually attributed to a flu at the time. A day later, she collapsed and suffered a cardiac arrest. And died during an operation to correct a bowel obstruction.
Yeah, see?
That's awful.
I know my history.
Well, and then Dominique Dunn, who was the older sister,
she was killed by her
stalker,
which was an ex-boyfriend, and that was a domestic violence, and that was on the front yard while friends were inside the house. She just went out because she was going to talk to him, not knowing that he was going to, basically.
Kill her.
And so her friends were inside the house like, oh, she went out to go talk to him. And then by the time they checked that, he had already killed her on the front lawn.
Yeah.
It was awful. There's a lot of people. That's why they had like that whole, that there was like, some kind of
curse.
Yeah.
Some movies that have that, like The Wizard of Oz, there's supposed to be a mythology behind it. Like we can go on and on, but like even 3 Men and a Baby, there's something that's supposed to be like some weird image.
About the ghost or something like that. Oh my God, I forgot about that.
3 Men and a Baby? No.
3 Men and a Baby.
The movie 3 Men and a Baby?
How can you be older?
I was just gonna say
because it wasn't a kid
it was in the early 90s. No,
3 Men and a Baby.
80s. Ted Danson,
80s?
Tom Selleck,
Oh my God, yes.
Steve Gutenberg.
Oh, yes, I remember.
Oh, Stacey,
when they had the baby.
Look at you said. Say it again. Just say his name.
Let's say Tom Selleck.
That's all you have to say. Say his name again. Watch how she moves in her chair.
I used to watch Magnum P.I. I was a child, and I still was like, that guy looks fantastic in shorts. To this day, I love me some juicy thighs. Okay,
some Daisy Dukes and a Hawaiian shirt and a baseball.
This is how I was like, I didn't. This is how I know my sexuality was like. I was just born with it because I was like, I was a small child and I was like, Magnum P.I. Please put that on. Yeah, I want to watch Cops. No, yeah, it had nothing to do with the sexy little mid shorts, coochie cutters he had on. Can I say that?
I'm gonna assume we can't because Lady B's not back there. I'm just gonna go ahead. I don't know.
Oh,
I will
okay.
ask.
I'm sorry.
We'll ask later. I'll check out the words.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. Maybe I've heard worse.
Okay.
I've
well,
said
you
worse.
know what I'm saying. Those tiny little shorts he had on back in the day,
cutting a particular part of the body.
Yes, with his shirt all half buttoned and a little flow of chest hairs just flowing with little leaves stuck on it. But you didn't care.
Look at her face.
Yes.
She's not moving.
Describe it some more.
She remembers. You remember. You remember.
I do.
I remember. Do you remember?
Okay, my brain just snapped to something because I was thinking about that thick, luscious hair. Okay, can we switch gears for just after the break? But have you guys seen the video? Okay, this is J.D. Vance and Erica Kirk. And the way
break that down.
Yeah.
let me
Hug
have
my man like that.
Yes.
Hug my man like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Evie, that's her Puerto Ricanness coming out right there. But I feel like that's legit, though. That's legit. That's not
scalp massage.
That's not appropriate.
No.
That was not appropriate.
And even how she introduced him.
Yes.
No. I didn't hear that part.
No one
How'd
can
she say it?
replace. I'll see if I can find audio. No one can replace Charlie, but JD reminds me. Of
That's what she said.
Yes.
You didn't see
his name.
I didn't see that part. I just seen the picture.
Did you see the way her whole feature changed when she mentioned his wife?
And that's by The Exorcist. Yeah. And then he goes on to say, I wish my wife would become a Christian.
Yeah.
And he growls.
Then he goes,
How long have they been married now?
And he's kids and everything.
Yeah.
It was very
But it's going to be
strange.
okay if he,
Yeah.
if he cheats on his wife and leaves her and goes, it'll be okay.
Well, yeah.
Because that's what God wanted.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Peter Thiel's
Now
got
I'm
an
fired
interesting
up.
vision. All right, let's come back in a moment. I'll see if we can find the audio. So WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150, and KTNF AM 9. Okay, slow down. KKNW 1150 in Seattle, the alternative talk of Seattle. KTNF AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota on 950.
You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Mulford. Overcast tonight with a low of 40. West winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Tomorrow, 62. 52 tomorrow night, partly cloudy. Partly cloudy and dry Wednesday and Thursday. Low 60s Wednesday, upper 50s by Thursday. Taking a look at the extended forecast, 61 Friday, 50 Saturday, and 44 on Sunday. That's your latest Chicago weather update. Currently, 60.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She can get a deal. Book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
This is WCPT 820, where facts matter.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk
or
Pete.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for driving home with us. Again, the off-air show will not be broadcast. We could do like a pay-per-view for like our like commercial breaks and things like that. We were talking before the break about this surreal moment or several moments at the Turning Point event where Erica Kirk, you'll have to put your headphones on to hear this gloriousness, ladies. Do you guys have headphones in your areas? In your areas of your persons? There's a set here. I have a set here for you as well. If we could just make sure that you're hooked up here, give this over to our lady, Carmen, Navarro, Gercone, who's going to be performing along with Evie, Cato, and Soli, Santos, Alicia Molina, and Jasnaira Baez at the Boricuas of Comedy on Friday night at the upstairs at Nellie's at 2458 West Division, right there at the corner of Western and Division. Go to tucasaproject.com, and that's TU for to your casa house. CASA project.com. We were talking about this moment at this Turning Point where of course now she told us, Erica Kirk told us that you don't know what you've unleashed.
We're figuring it out real quick.
Yeah, and like even just, I don't know if you've seen the images of, like, of course people are making memes now. There's one where she's standing on Charlie's coffin.
Yes,
and JD is like hugging her as well.
I've seen
now
that.
We are not at all saying anything about we've talked enough about the violence and how horrific it is. We also not get to comment on what is happening because this is some bonkers stuff. Let me see if I can roll this up and have it available for you. Oh wait, I have to go to this one first. This is Erica. She is about to introduce JD Vance at this event. Let me see if I can do that. Nope, that is not working. Oh, you know why? It's me. It's not you. It's me. It's not you. It's me. It's not you. Me.
No.
Hold on. No,
but I do see.
Hold on. Here we go.
No one will ever replace my husband. No.
No.
But I do see some similarities of my husband in JD and Vice President JD Vance. I do. And that's why I'm so blessed to be able to introduce him tonight, because he understands the fight that we're up against.
The part with when she says Asha and like winces when she says her name. And then when he's speaking, apparently a student asks him how he stays married to Asha, who is not Christian. And this is his video. Let's see if we can do this. Oh, it's not going again. Hold on, people. Nope, I don't know how to make that one fix. Nope, I don't have it. That's very upsetting. Oh, you know why? Because it was me again. It was me again. Let me just... I was going to
say, do you have the audio on?
Because I believe in the Christian gospel, and I hope eventually my wife comes to see it the same way.
Yeah, that's what he said.
My closest friends, do I hope eventually that she is somehow moved by the same thing that I was moved in by church? Yeah, I honestly do wish that, because I believe in the Christian gospel, and I hope eventually my wife comes to see it the same way.
Yeah.
Is that how they're raising their kids? Like
the mom's wrong?
Yeah. Mom's wrong.
That's it.
But she was absolutely glowing.
Oh, like her eyes.
But I do see comparisons, and so
no one can take his place.
So while everyone who was
how did she say it, Patti?
Take his place. No one. Asha. That's what she said, like she gagged.
Yes, I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to watch it. Yeah. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
It's insane. Carmen? No, that all for people who they didn't feel felt badly enough for Charlie Kirk's murder.
We weren't respectful enough.
People weren't respectful enough. They didn't feel badly enough. Take all that out of it, and I'm looking at a woman who was just so disrespectful of her recently murdered husband.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you're going to, I'm sorry, I'm judging.
The way they put their hands on each other.
Like, that was a full-fledged...
His
Evie
hands
said it. Touch my husband like that.
Yeah. She's got her fingers all up in there with the and someone said that she looked like her pants. She was wearing pants of a material taken from a couch, like the leather couch.
But part of me is also not surprised by this, because of the quote unquote memorial service that
the
they
pyrotechnics.
had. Yes, you know what it reminded me of? Do you guys ever watch the Righteous Gemstones?
No, but I've heard that this is exactly what it looks like.
Yes, it is exactly. I was like, oh no, I thought that was a sitcom. It's a documentary. Because that whole show is about a family that they're basically millionaires, but they became millionaires because their father became like a pastor that just was able to get, grow this following, and become basically a rich family because of their church. And they do all this like exaggerating, like literally pyrotechnics, like dances, like just all this theatrical stuff for mass. So when I saw the clips of that, I was like, oh no. Oh, they're doing the same stuff, but this isn't a show. This isn't a sitcom. This is real.
What's the name of this show?
The Righteous Gemstones.
Okay.
Wow. I'll check that out.
It's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious.
But you thought it was just a TV show.
Yeah. But then when I saw
Tricks
the
on
clips
you.
of the memorial, I was like, oh no, are they watching that show and thinking that's the real deal? Because it's basically that whole show is them making fun of these evangelical religious
mega churches.
Yeah, mega churches. Yeah, absolutely, exactly. Yeah. Yep. And so it was interesting to see the clips of that and them literally having pyrotechnics at
the memorial service.
Yeah, the memorial service.
That's crazy.
I have to see. I have to go check and see what. Lady B, are you getting a certain type of phone call? Okay. I was wondering, like, what folks might. I don't know, because the last 6 weeks have been crazy with how people react.
Last 6 weeks?
But if I'm saying with the post Charlie Kirk era has been very strange. And I don't know how people will react, but I'm sorry, but you look at that image of her with her hands in that man's hair. And
he nuzzled. He nuzzled up in that neck. He nuzzled. I saw the nuzzle. It wasn't just, it was a, he took a big sniff of that. Right? Yeah. I'm like, you keep your hands. Yeah, that was a full on, like.
Yeah, that was some wild stuff. Yeah, I'm trying to remember because, like, I've what would you say? I've hugged like maybe 1,000 people in my life, right? I'm 54 years old, right? Doing stand-up comedy and events and things like that. I've never put my hand, like, even, I don't even know how to do it with my hands. Like,
yeah, no.
Unless we're.
Not even at the nape of the neck.
And I make sure my waist goes back a little bit.
Yeah, you kind of sometimes you pull that like the grade school dance where you're like your hips are like you're sticking your butt out so that you don't get too close to the private areas. Like you're at a 8th grade dance.
Yeah, no. Leave room for Jesus.
Yeah.
Leave room for Jesus.
That's what it is.
Catholic high school.
Yeah, they did not.
Like, get a room.
Yeah, they did not leave room for Jesus. Jesus is sad that he was.
But no comments on how disrespectful that was, or even her words.
No. Well, they won't because they just won't. But I feel like when I see stuff like that, and we're all old enough to know that the body language is very, you ain't fooling me, and you ain't fooling a bunch of other people. But I sometimes think, okay, if they're blatant enough about this, what's really going on behind the scenes? What's really going on? And I'm thinking, what's her name? Usha? What is she saying? I was like, ooh, they're in a fight right now.
Oh, how could you not be?
They're in a fight right now. While we're all talking about this, they're in a fight right now.
Put that out there at Turning Point, and knowing everybody was going to jump. I mean, again, it is a distraction because now we're not talking about people being kidnapped and people not getting food, right? So again, like that's
all distractions.
What an interesting shiny object they threw at us.
But still, it's still
crazy.
Like they're in a fight right now. I mean. Tell me how many times you haven't had a friend that was like married or in a relationship and then their husband did one slight little thing wrong at a bar where he like was looking at some other woman just 2 seconds too long and you knew that they were going to go home and get a fight. And now you're looking, can you imagine that type of situation? But millions of people are watching it on TV and on social media and you are being made fun of as the wife that's
foolish enough to put up with that? To have married into that, because you know what, I honestly don't feel any sympathy for her. She chose the man she chose to marry. She knows what he's like. She knows the type of person he is, and she went along with it and had 2 children with a man who doesn't really support brown people, and she's a brown person.
And to boot, as we talk about SNAP, he was raised in a family that relied on food stamps and is taking food stamps away from families right now.
Yeah. This is a perfect, you know what, this is a perfect crabs in a barrel mentality of like, once we make, like just people just being selfish enough to think, well, all I need to do is make it for myself, and then I don't care about anybody else. I made it. I don't care about you. I made it. That's all that matters to me.
We just got a message from our friend in the 708. Your show is hilarious.
Thanks.
The 3 women together have made me. So there we go. Let's take a break here. And now folks are calling. I told you they might call in during the last segment, and here they are. Let's take a break here. We're in studio with our friends, the Boricuas of Comedy. They have a show this Friday at Nellie's, upstairs at Nellie's. You can go to tucasaproject.com. That's TUCASA project.com. The venue is at 2458 West Division at Western End Division. And it'll be Jasnara Baez, Alicia Molina, Soli, Santos, Carmen, Navarro, Gercone, and Evie, Cato, who is also producing and putting this show together. Let's take a break here and continue our conversation when we come back on KTNF AM 950, Minneapolis, St. Paul, KKNW 1150, our friends in Seattle. Sorry, you're our friends in Minneapolis, too. I don't know why I made that distinction. I love you all. And, of course, here in Chicago on WCPT 820.
Around the Town, Chicago, with Al Beslaw.
My dog eats dog food now. Bravo. She eats good. She does kibble and she does wet. But everything has to be topped with the farm to pet topping. You just sprinkle it on the top of her food. She comes running to it and starts gobbling up her food. I've even tried it. It's really...
And Frank's doing much better now.
Okay. My coat is really good.
His hair is shiny.
Sunday afternoons at 1 on WCPT 820.
WCPT Replay.
We are talking with candidate for Congress, Isaiah Martin.
I think the strongly worded letter era is simply something that needs to end. To be honest with you, it's a very simple conversation. If Republicans are willing to go for the jugular, then we need to go lower. And I think, seriously, if that means gerrymandering out Republicans, then that's fine. I don't really care about the Republicans that have been holding their seats for the last 20 years. I don't care about the seniority that they claim to have racked up. I don't care about the friendships that they claim to have made along the way. I don't care. Donald Trump is coming for America, and he's coming for Democratic seats. And with the same sense of don't care attitude, it's the same kind of don't care attitude that we need to gerrymander out Republicans. And I think that needs to be the message that we have across the country.
Keep listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First, drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow, you sound just like him.
Then he said,
if it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips. Because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
You're listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
Hi, this is Patti Vasquez. We appreciate all our fans of Driving It Home, and your support of show sponsor Minocqua Brewing Company ensures that our important conversations continue right here on WCPT each weekday from 5 to 7 p.m. You can now find the Resistance IPA, Labor Lager, or the Resistance Pilsner beer at several Illinois locations, including Arminetti Wine and Spirits in Woodstock, Pineapple and Company in North Riverside, Lyons Beverage Depot in Arlington Heights, and MP's Liquor, Wine, and Beer in North Aurora. For a full list of Chicagoland locations, please visit MinocquaBrewingCompany.com. As always, please vote and drink responsibly.
From city streets to political beats, you're driving it home with Patti Vasquez, where progressive talk fuels the ride.
We are heading into the home stretch of Driving It Home with me, Patti Vasquez. The Boricuas of Comedy are in studio with me. We have a show this Friday benefiting Tu Casa Project, now needing to support our communities more than ever. And we want to thank Soli, Santos, Carmen, Navarro, Gercone, Evie, Cato. Someone just texted in Boricuas, obviamente. Hola mi gente.
Hola mi gente.
Hola mi gente. That's going to be this Friday at Nellie's upstairs at Nellie's at 2458 West Division and Western. Go to tucasaproject.com. I'm going to assume this audience knows that Tucasa is Tucasa. I said it anyway. And if you aren't able to make it to the show, we also would love for you to make a donation and support the work that they do. Tucasaproject.com. And also joining them will be Alicia Molina, who you've heard on the show. We'll have to get Jasnaira Baez on the show as well. Does she speak Spanish?
I don't know.
Because our listener, Roosevelt, had the idea. I'm working on it for this week, Roosevelt. I know that Jaime de Leon will be here for sure. And so I'm working on who else to get for our Spanish-only progressive talk show from 6 to 7. And I have to get permission from a couple more people. But I'm working on it for this week, my friend.
Thank you. I will appreciate and I will contribute. How's that sound?
Perfect.
Oh, awesome.
Excellent. Excellent. What's on your mind, my friend?
Señoras, buenas noches. ¿Cómo están hoy?
Muy bien,
Gracias.
Así. What?
I want to add to what the subject you're talking about. Erica and JD. On the social media, she was compared to an evangelist with a big blonde wig from the 90s. I don't remember the lady but so I can't give you the name. That's point number one. And point number two, when I saw that, when she was rubbing the back of his ear or his head, it reminded me of the novelas. I don't know about you, but this is definitely
Enrique, ¿qué haces con María?
Exactamente. That's exactly what I thought of.
That's funny. That's hilarious.
So dramatic.
And also, I wanted to see what you think about, I don't know if we beat it already, but about Bad Bunny and how the social media is exploding and saying that he should be deported and all that. I read so much more.
It's ridiculous.
Didn't they already cancel the Turning Point halftime because they couldn't get enough people interested in it, like sponsors and like.
Oh, did they really?
I think so.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that.
Wow.
I love that for them.
Didn't Trump speak to the president of Puerto Rico?
Yeah. He was talking to his picture, his own mirror.
Yeah.
He's in the bathroom
for an answer.
He's like, yeah.
Mira, did you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, Roosevelt.
Yeah. So I think that's the plan. I agree with you all. And the horrible thing that he said too about changing or converting to another religion and saying it out loud. You keep that private, wouldn't you? I mean, wouldn't you keep that private and not say it out loud?
No, okay.
Well, he was answering a question. I think that's the reason why he had said that, right? Because they asked him about his wife not being a Christian.
Right. And like, what did you do? Like, and okay. I mean, he didn't even bother to be like he didn't try to do it on the side, like, not really, honey. You know what I mean? Like, she should totally become a Christian. Not really. You don't have to.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, just so that, like, he's not even trying to two-face it. And he went right at it and said, "Do I hope? Yeah, I hope she becomes."
But to me, I'm looking at it like he went right at it because that was his way of letting Erica know.
I'm available.
Yeah.
I'm available.
I could be.
I
given
could
the
be
right circumstances.
because I'm willing to put my wife out there. That was his.
Maybe that's the ultimatum. Be like, she didn't want to convert, so I had to leave her.
Yeah. He had to put it out there. To me, he's setting it all up.
How long have they been married? Does anybody know?
Married. Let's see how long married. I shall Google while you all discuss it with yourselves.
But yeah, I feel that's why he went ahead and said that. He was trying to set it up.
Good point.
And then to finish it, it reminded me of my wife and I. You know, when you first get married, you can't keep your hands off each other. That's exactly what came to my mind. It reminded me of me when I was, because I'm 69, so, you know. But, I mean, you know, when you first get married and, you know, that honeymoon period and it goes on for the first 5 years or whatever. It depends on the couple.
Yeah,
too,
when you haven't had to experience life together. Do you know? I know.
When you're not sick of each other.
When you're not sick of each other. when everything's new and fresh and
When
exciting.
you can go to a restaurant and actually carry a conversation, not to sit there in silence.
Yeah. That's exactly what I thought of.
Sorry, Roosevelt.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Buenas noches.
Good noches. A reporter Ezra Levant said to Vance on X, "It's weird to throw your wife's religion under the bus in public for a moment's acceptance by Groypers."
Yes.
Which is the ultra-Christian nationalist group. Which now apparently there was an interview with Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes, who's the lead frog of the Groypers.
Yeah.
Isn't that their
That's their symbol.
It's very strange. And then JD says, "What a disgusting comment." And it's hardly been the only one along these lines. The question was from a person seemingly to my left about my interfaith marriage. I'm a public figure and people are curious. And I wasn't going to avoid the question. Guess what you should do? You're a politician. You're telling me you can't avoid that question about your wife?
All the questions you're gonna be direct about.
This is the one. This is the one where you're like, I wish she was a better person.
I'm gonna double down.
I mean, he couldn't answer the questions on George Stephanopoulos' show, and he literally, George was like, "Thank you," and cut him off. Yeah. And now you're gonna answer this question without any problems? Where are your priorities, sir? In the toilet. That's where they are, in the toilet.
Good point.
Yes. Get out of here.
Paul in Seattle. Paul's like, what am I getting myself into? I don't know. Okay. Paul in Seattle, take it away. What's on your mind, my friend?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear us?
Hola.
Hola. ¿Cómo estás?
Hi, Paul.
Pablo.
Charlie, Eric and Kirk's problem is that she thinks that gun violence is for other families, not hers.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she knows that what Charlie Kirk said, that we're going to have a few gun deaths every year so that we can have our Second Amendment. And now she is forced to become a member and join the club of tens of thousands of American families that have been touched by gun violence.
Yeah.
And you know what? She's not going to heal until she comes to Jesus, until she reaches out to the Newtown families, to the Uvalde families, to the all of the families that have been touched by gun violence. She's going to hold a bitter pill in her mouth that she can't swallow for the rest of her life until she does.
Yeah.
Paul, I love you. Te amo con todo mi corazón, mi amor. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
By the way, I think the other thing is we had in your description box is the right always blames the left. Erica is already saying that people are watching her every move.
Yeah, absolutely.
Girl.
Yeah.
You went to a convention that was being broadcast to millions. It was going to be on social media. Mm-hmm. You said what you said. We heard what we heard. There's nothing.
They are watching her every move, but she knew that, and she's making the choice to react to it and respond to it the way she's doing it.
And she
like
told
it's
us
performative.
She told us to watch her because she was coming for us, or that we've unleashed something, or someone's unleashed something. Someone mentioned a televangelist from the 80s.
Yeah, I was trying to remember.
Tammy Baker.
That's who I was. Trying to get her name. I'm like, she went to
blonde
prison,
hair
didn't
though,
she?
and
Tammy, she had the big eyelashes.
The eyelashes were
the eyelashes.
Tammy Baker, Roosevelt. That's what it was.
That's part of my.
Yeah, it was the eyes.
I
it was
have a bit with her.
Patty and I are doing the same thing.
That was when she had. They were so thick you couldn't even see her eyes.
No,
it was weird.
So weird.
That was her.
And Roosevelt's texting in. Actually, I don't know if he has a link. But let me get to Jim before we wrap up the show. Go to tucasaproject.com because then you can enjoy the comedy, the humor, the laughter, the love of the Boricuas of comedy to benefit the Tucasa Project. Jim, what's on your mind, my friend?
Yeah, this got to be. They offered Mass for All Souls Day in front of the Broadview ICE detention place yesterday. They refused to the communion to the prisoners. And J.D. Vance, the Peter Thiel creation, I'll never forget him giving a theology lesson to Pope Francis the day that he died.
Oh, yeah.
And Pope Francis had to correct him.
Yep.
He's supposed to be a Catholic. He is no more a Catholic than Mickey Mouse is running on empty. I mean,
Jim picked that one. I couldn't nail the landing, but I get the feeling, Jim. I got to end the show.
We're picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Again, go to tucasaproject.com. Thank you so much to our sponsors, Source Solar, Pride Coffee Roasters, pridecoffeeroasters.com, and order that bean subscription, and Navarro Brewing Company, and kids above all. Thank you, ladies. Soli, Santos, Carmen, Navarro, Gercone, Evie, Cato will be joined by Alicia Molina and Jasnaira Baez this Friday. The Boricuas of Comedy at upstairs at Nellie at 2458 West Division. Shows at 7. tucasaproject.com. Bye. Sorry, I'm late. Bye.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensated for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This update sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Take the next step forward in your career with great benefits and an award-winning workplace. Apply at careers.progressive.com.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter. Amy Goodman reports on the news stories rarely covered by the corporate media. Democracy Now!
The UN's Humanitarian Affairs Office warned Palestinian children are at high risk of injury or death from unexploded ordnance left after more than 13 months of Israeli attacks. 8-year-old Mohammed Karmash, this is his mother.
No one was there to tell him that these are explosives that the Israelis throw.
Democracy Now! Weekday evenings at 10 on WCPT 820, Chicago's Progressive Talk.
Stand Up to Cancer asked leading cancer researchers to speak about why they do their work.
2 words come to mind for me. One is responsibility, the other is purpose.
It's just so inspiring to do research that impacts human lives.
Stand Up to Cancer has been a critical partner in advancing research for cancer.
Cancer research saves lives.
So please, help us fight in this battle against cancer.
Be a part of the team that ends cancer at standuptocancer.org.
Being blind doesn't always look how others may think.
Retinitis pigmentosa aimed to overwhelm my family.
It tried to cut me down.
I know where to find support and where I can be seen.
Innovative research, educational resources, supportive community.
The Foundation Fighting Blindness is leading the charge in finding treatments and cures for blinding diseases. Learn more at fightingblindness.org.
A public service message from the Foundation Fighting Blindness.
You're listening to WCPT 820, because facts matter.
It's time for the Rick Smith Show. Now, here is the voice of the working class, Rick Smith.
And welcome, brothers, sisters, working class heroes. This is the Rick Smith Show. Thanks so much for being here today on the big program. Lots to get to, lots to talk about. What an incredible weekend of baseball as the Los Angeles Dodgers, I guess dodged ice maybe, won the World Series. And you go, why do you call them that? Well, three people from Japan, right fielder from a Dominican Republic. I think there's a middle infielder from who's Puerto Rican, a Venezuelan, a Cuban, a South Korean, someone from Louisville, Kentucky, a couple people from South Carolina. Seemed like a good mix of international flavor. And at a time when in the country we're going after others. Just thought it was interesting. Now, the weird part is the Dodgers, I think they have 8 international players on a roster of 26. Not even close to having the most. The Houston Astros and the San Diego Padres, they've got the most international-born players, each with 16. Atlanta Braves have 14. The Mets have 13. Then you go down the list there, a lot of 10s and a lot of 12s. But here again, a country of immigrants celebrating a World Series, and yet we have a unitary executive who on the weekend where they're cutting SNAP benefits holds a 1920s themed Great Gatsby-esque Halloween party. You can't make this stuff up. Guests were seen mimicking the roaring 20s era, wearing the attire, because this is where we are. Our golden class, our gilded class, they have no shame, none whatsoever. Especially when you're talking about doing it when the very next morning we're not funding SNAP programs. And understand, it's not just SNAP. As some people had pointed out, you talk a lot about the SNAP benefits. What about LIHEAP? What about all of the other things that working people rely on to help make life affordable in this country? And they're not wrong. Not wrong. And lots of pushback to what I talked about on the last show. The fact that, and thank you. I mean, I needed this boost of humanity. Because a lot of the voices that I had heard originally were people, these are just lazy people. These are people who don't need the benefits. 1,000 reasons, most of them horrible, most of them racist, but 1,000 reasons why gutting this program is going to be good for people. It's going to make them pull themselves up by their bootstraps. And you go, yeah, I was one of those kids. And this is where, again, I put people into a couple of different categories. The category of people who, like me, had to use food stamps as a child and have some traumatic stories to go along with it, but have done really, really well. The kind of people who pull up the ladder behind them and go, wow, we needed it back then when it was for me, but for anybody else, no. And then there are the people who have been fortunate and have never had to need it and have never known what it's like, but have always struggled and find pride in going, well, I had a woman one time tell me that she was in the middle class making $16,000 a year because she didn't take food stamps. But when you pointed out all of the other programs that she benefited from, kind of broke her heart a little bit. But the fact that we do help people, not nearly enough, and always with some shame, always with lots of hurdles. And then there's the other people, the people who are so privileged that they're never going to need, or they don't think they're ever going to need. And basically just telling everybody to go pound sand. They're the ones who I find most offensive. Because the gifted should be the ones who go, well, I am fortunate. I am lucky. There's something in that book that my conservative Republican friends love to wave around about that, I'm certain. But the reality is, and in looking at these SNAP benefits, the sad reality is every one of us, you, me, everyone, we're one accident, one sickness, one job loss, one tragedy away from needing. And I look at myself, I saved, I've worked hard. I've done all of the things I was told I was supposed to do. And we've had a tragedy in our family. And it's getting difficult. It's getting harder every day. And the reality is everyone at some point or another stumbles. Be grateful that if it's not you. But that safety net under our feet is one of those things that I think a civil, moral society, regardless of your religious views, should do. And if not for anyone else, for yourself, for your own families. Because tragedy does strike. Bad things do happen to good people, and a hand is always needed. And the fact that we're in a moment where we're literally taking food out of people's mouths, the wealthiest country in the history of humanity. And I know, but Rick, you say they're starving. No, their kids are going to go hungry. And I guess I'm just cognizant of the reality that I was once that kid. And that it could happen to anyone. And I want better for our country. I want better for us. The sad reality is this fight, all of this, shows how dysfunctional our country has become, how greedy our country has become. And you can say, oh, it's the Democrats' fault. Well, just as easily, the Republicans could fund health care. They could fund the SNAP program. They could do these things if they wanted to. And the reality is they don't. They wrote it down. It's in Project 2025, all of this. And it's all stuff that they've said over the years. So am I surprised that we're here? Not really. I'm surprised that we aren't outraged enough. I'm surprised we're not in the streets more. I'm surprised at the responses that I haven't gotten. But maybe as it hits home, maybe we'll see it. Want to hear your thoughts? Email me, rick@thericksmithshow.com. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, Sarah Burris from Raw Story going to give us some thoughts. Back after this.
We are AFGE, the American Federation of Government Employees. We represent 700,000 federal and D.C. government workers who are the vital threads of the fabric of American life. We support our nation's military. We take care of our nation's veterans. We protect our nation's borders. We respond to our nation's crises and natural disasters. We provide services to our nation's seniors. The American Federation of Government Employees. We work for America.
We are AFGE, the American Federation of Government Employees. We represent 700,000 federal and D.C. government workers who are the vital threads of the fabric of American life. We support our nation's military. We take care of our nation's veterans. We protect our nation's borders. We respond to our nation's crises and natural disasters. We provide services to our nation's seniors. The American Federation of Government Employees. We work for America.
Welcome back to the Rick Smith Show. Now, here is Rick Smith.
So, on the weekend where they basically end the funding for SNAP benefits, of course, our chief executive, our dear leader, our unitary executive, of course, in the most let them eat cake way possible, held his big Halloween ball at Mar-a-Lago. Of course, he's going to rub poor people's nose in it because it's what they do. It is what they do. Because look, if you're literally going to take food out of the mouths of children to give, rich people tax cuts, why not celebrate it right in front of us? Why not just rub our nose right in it? And here to share some thoughts on the nose rubbing, our good friend Sarah Burris, reporter over at Raw Story, rawstory.com, the website if you want to check out the work she does. Sarah, thanks for taking time for us.
Hey, Rick, how the heck are you?
So what did you think of the Great Gatsby Ball? What did you think of our unitary executives' little celebration?
It actually makes a lot of sense because the thing about Trump is that he is authentic in being so awful and mean to people. I mean, he doesn't really hide it. And I feel like the Republican Party has spent decades and decades crapping all over the people like us, the everyman, right? The folks who aren't billionaire, not the billionaire class. And so the fact that Trump is gonna, just kind of shove it in everybody's face and talk about how much wealth he has and how much wealth we don't have, it's just sort of doing what Republicans do behind closed doors. It's actually just doing it in the public, and it's like, well. Yeah. I can appreciate that. No, at least you're not lying about it.
At least you're not lying. At least you're going to rub people's nose in it. And look, I read something over the weekend that said, here we are. We're in the final stage of capitalism. This is the final stage. We're about ready to lose the game of Monopoly in a big way. And they're just showing who won. Us poor schmucks who have to go to work and punch a clock and clean up after their mess. We get what we deserve, right?
I mean, this is what happens whenever you vote against your own lifestyle. And over, Americans have proven either they don't vote or they vote against their own lifestyle. If we were all billionaires, I can see us all voting this way. But instead, the right has sort of pitted us against each other in a way that makes it very easy for the uber wealthy to get away with whatever they want.
Yep.
If we're too busy fighting ourselves, then we can't, protest the fact that people are making billions and billions of dollars and not paying their taxes.
Well, as the quote attributed to Jay Gould, the railroad magnate from this period, the Gilded Age, I could easily pay half the working class to murder the other half.
Yep.
And here we are, that kind of divide and conquer right in front of us. And look, the SNAP thing is a huge deal for me. But over the weekend, what we see? We saw all of the worst racist dog whistle, kind of, and not even just dog whistle. I mean, there were a bunch of people in blackface. I'm going, when the heck did this start coming back around?
Yeah, that was the strange thing. Trump made a comment at the end of last week, maybe Thursday or Friday, where he said, that I don't really care about the SNAP benefits thing because those are primarily Black Democrats in urban areas. And I think that sort of 80s and 90s mindset of what a poor person looks like is so outdated. And I think they're going to figure out very quickly, it's their own people. It's Republicans' own people who are on Obamacare, who are getting SNAP benefits. And so this idea that they're just going to, again, crap on their own people, this is kind of where we are now. And I'm wondering if, I'm wondering if there is enough anger that they'll start calling their members of Congress, or that at the very least there will be some kind of uprising in those Republican districts.
Nope. Nope. It's not going to happen. Because they're blaming Democrats. It's the Democrats' fault for all this. Didn't you know, Sarah? It's not the Republicans. It's not Donald Trump. It's the Democrats' fault. They're the ones. Now, granted, they're fighting for their health care, but you're taking my food. I can deal with the loss of health care. I can't deal with the loss of food and health care. I mean, it's a bizarre kind of thing, but the Democrats are going to eat this one. That's a bad pun.
See, I don't think that they will. I really don't, because again, like the conversation around the shutdown that seems to be effective is Republicans are in power.
Right.
They have all of the cards. They can do whatever they want.
No, I misspoke there. In those, I thought we were talking about in MAGA world, because it's what they're being told. It's what they're being consumed. It's what they're consuming at every opportunity. It's the Democrats' fault. So when it does happen, when the food benefits don't come and the ACA goes away, they're going to blame Democrats because it's what they've done a masterful job messaging around. That was my point.
I don't know. I don't know if they will, though. I think the more you try and do that, I know that logic is not strong with a lot of people, but at some point you have to at least be able to say, if Donald Trump is in charge and the House and the Senate are controlled by Republicans, then who's really the one here that can do anything about
but
it.
You get thrown back at you though, Sarah. Well, the Democrats won't allow cloture, and I go, well, a handful of Republicans could go over and fund health care. We could get past that way, but that won't happen because Republicans are in lockstep behind what Trump wants, and what he wants is to end the ACA. This is very clear, very simple. It's not that hard to figure out. I can figure it out.
Well, the thing too is that it's not just necessarily about cloture. Like they can eliminate the filibuster if they wanted. There are lots of options in the Senate. The problem is whatever bill the Senate passes, the House won't take up. So Mike Johnson is in a place where he is basically saying, to hell with all of you. We passed our own bill, and unless you fight for that bill or you pass that bill, I don't really care. I'm not bringing anybody back to Congress. So it doesn't really even matter what the Senate does. If we did somehow, by some miracle, come up with a compromise that is even more Republican or more Democratic, it wouldn't matter because of Mike Johnson.
Yeah. No, and this is the weird part. I mean, you throw all of this together. You throw the fact that, they had this garbage ball, this ridiculous display of opulence, basically rubbing it in poor people's face. You've got, obviously a Senate that's broken. And then you throw on top of all of this the fact that billionaires are the ones who are making out, and it's a weird world we're in. And the messaging, should be fairly simple. This should be an easy which side are you on moment, but we'll see. Now, I got to get your thoughts on this Billie Eilish thing. At an awards ceremony, I guess going to give I think like a quarter of her wealth away, something like $11.5 million, and then went on to excoriate, Mark Zuckerberg and billionaires. She said, if you're a billionaire, why are you a billionaire? No hate, but give your money away, shorties, which I thought was interesting. Thoughts?
That's basically what Bernie Sanders has been saying for a long time. Although I would argue that Bernie Sanders' big commentary is that you should pay your taxes because, if people didn't avoid paying taxes so much who are billionaires, that would be ending up in the government till. I've seen a couple of people talking about it over the weekend, and there's a whole lot of millions and millions of dollars that could be given to, to these food banks right now that everybody's desperately in need of, because SNAP is closed. So, I look at people like Elon Musk and Zuckerberg, and she's right. Like, there's only so much money that you actually need in the world. I mean, you can have multi-million dollars and just not be able to spend all of it.
And I think that was Bill Maher's point. I mean, Bill Maher came to the billionaire's defense. He said $1 billion's a lot of money. He said, and I can't imagine anyone needing that much money or how you could ever spend it. However, he said, when you get to $995 million, no one wants to stop. And I'm not sure she would either if she got there. And I'm going, it's not a matter of someone stopping. It's a matter of having a system that goes, no, we're not going to let someone be worth $500 billion. Sorry, there's got to be some better competition in the marketplace and some tax policies to make sure that we're literally not taking food out of the mouths of children to give people like Musk a tax cut. That's where the system's failure, in my view, is.
No, exactly. And I think it's funny, it comes from Maher because Maher is a multi-millionaire. So he's got his own, happy life. But I think in Billie Eilish's point, and I would say using Maher's logic, you can make all of the money you want. It's just a matter of how much of it are you keeping, are you hoarding in your mattress for the rest of time? And so this idea that, you can work all you want, you can make all the money you want, but at some point you have to pay taxes on that. And those taxes have to come to the US government. Yeah. And now the way it works is all of these people who keep working and making more and more and more money, they squirrel away some ability to pay the lowest possible percentage on taxes. So people who are like nurses and teachers and, normal folks are paying a higher percentage in taxes than Elon Musk is.
But when Donald Trump said he basically cheats on his taxes because it makes him smart, people were like, yeah, it makes him smart. He's not paying taxes because everybody hates to pay taxes. Where I'm like, hey, it's the cost of admission. And if you've done that well, maybe you should want everyone else to do well. Because at some point, this whole thing breaks down. And I fear we're getting to that point where things are going to start to break down, where that middle-class existence that we were told was our birthright, that if you worked hard, played by the rules, you'd get ahead. I don't think that social compact is there anymore and hasn't been for a very long time.
Agreed. Absolutely. And I think too, the idea that these billionaires have made all of this money and that they're very self-made and that, this is all because of their work. The problem with that logic is you're driving on roads that the U.S. government built. You went to schools, or your kids go to schools that have standards that are set by the U.S. government. You're using hospitals that are funded by government money. The fire department's going to come to your house if it's on fire and put it out for you at no cost to yourself, because that's a public service.
And that's what rich people hate.
Yeah.
That all that stuff is there. We could be profiting off of that. Could be making more. It just is
perhaps
weird.
Maybe the next thing is Elon Musk is going to start his own private fire department where he's
got his own company town. We're making company towns great again. It's coming. I got to get some of your other thoughts. A couple other stories you've got out there. Have you been noticing our Department of Justice seems to be a little loose with the facts?
Little bit. They're having a couple of problems with court cases where they're submitting documents giving numbers and statistics that aren't entirely accurate. The case of Portland, for example, whenever the government sent a whole bunch of National Guard people into Portland and the Federal Protective Services is what they're calling, every federal agent that they're dispatching in. They described it as sending something like Portland being so bad, so violent and outrageous that they had to send a quarter of all of the federal officers into the city to stop it from burning down. And one, it was never burning, but the reality now, they won in court over this argument. The Ninth Circuit basically said, yeah, right. We're buying into this. Well, now it turns out that they had to submit a letter saying, well, actually it wasn't a fourth of the services. It was really more like 60 to 80 of them. And then because there really wasn't a lot for them to do, only about 20 or 30 of them stayed. And then the rest were out in the rest of the state doing other things.
Picking up trash with orange vests on. But here's the thing. So the question is, the numbers, were they out and out lies? Were they AI generated? Or, did they just reach around and pull it out of a certain orifice?
I don't think it matters, frankly. It could be one or all of the above.
Because it doesn't matter in court, does it? If you and I went into court and lied, what would happen to us?
Exactly. That's the thing, is that this, and now that's, I think, one of the major reasons that that the appeals court is saying we are going to rehear this whole thing among all of the judges, because it turns out you lied in the court documents about it.
So the question I have is it this isolated incident? This was just one bad moment, a lapse of judgment, an accident, or is this systematic across Pam Bondi's leadership of this organization?
Yeah, this is like the third time that it's happened in a really, really big major case. And, I don't know if this is they're having AI write their cases for them, or it's something where they're just trying to use that Trump logic of inflating everything. Everything is larger, grander, bigger, huge, massive. And maybe that's the reason that they're trying to, make things seem like a bigger deal than they actually are. I mean, we talked about, it was a couple of weeks ago, that Oklahoma City's crime rate was higher than Portland. Yeah. But nobody's sending in the National Guard to Oklahoma City.
And finally, I got to get your thoughts on, I'm sure you saw the comments by Trump. Evidently, we're going to start bombing again, testing nuclear weapons again. Is that that's evidently going to happen? Maybe, yes? No?
I don't know how that's going to be possible, because we signed a nuclear test ban treaty where we agreed, in the global community among all of the countries, that we will not test nuclear weapons. So this idea that Trump is just going to start blowing stuff up because he saw that, what was it, like last weekend, Russia tested something that wasn't actually a nuclear weapon. It was a nuclear powered weapon. So, this was not the H-bomb that was going to blow up in Alaska. It was a nuclear weapon that could very easily make its way to the United States from anywhere in Russia. It doesn't just have to be in a little boat off the coast of Cuba. And so I don't know that Trump maybe just didn't read the briefing or listen to the briefing, or the pictures weren't good enough. But, he heard this thing and then he decided we're going to start blowing stuff up again, which, the amount of damage that does to our environment. The groundwater that people have to use, there's a lot of damage to the country because of what the nuclear testing that we did, 50, 60 years ago.
But the positive, if there is a positive, they're probably going to do it in a red state. So, and I guess the other question is with the shutdown, is there a nuclear regulatory agency or anybody who could do any of this stuff?
Yeah, that would be the other big part of this, is that you can't, when all of the people who are operating the nuclear weapons aren't working because there's a shutdown. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Who's gonna deal with it? But maybe that's part of Trump's plan. He's gonna deal with it himself because it can't possibly be that hard. You don't need a nuclear weapons expert to press the button, right?
No, he's going to get his chemistry set out, and he's going to, get out there and do it himself. Scary times. Sarah, as always, appreciate the time. Keep up the great work. Rawstory.com, the website. Sarah Burris, thanks so much.
Thank you. Have a great rest of the week, everyone.
You as well, our good friend Sarah Burris. Want to hear your thoughts? Email me, rick@thericksmithshow.com. What do you think? Were you happy to see the grand ball? Would it have been better in North Magalago once that's finished? rick@thericksmithshow.com. Right back.
Hey Progressives, this is Richard Chew, host of Chew's Views here on WCPT AM 820, 6 to 8 a.m. Monday through Friday. We have some real challenges in front of us as a country. Since the beginning of this show, I have always felt compelled to bring you the best that I've got. Now, there's always a why to doing whatever we do. So, as we go forward and face these challenges, know this, you listeners are my why, because I want to make sure I do everything I can to provide a safe, open, forward-moving space that allows you to call, email, text, or just listen to a guy that wants to help you bring out your own championship qualities to truly make this place better for us all. Lofty goal, idealistic, maybe so. But that's my why, and I look forward to bringing you the best that I've got. This is Richard Chew. Stay tuned.
Alexa, play WCPT.
WCPT from TuneIn.
Welcome back to the Rick Smith Show. Now, here is Rick Smith.
So a new survey out by the folks over at Small Business for America's Future. This new survey on the dreaded Obamacare, the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, found that 84% of the business owners that they polled, overwhelming support for making permanent the ACA subsidies. Because guess what? It turns out that a lot of small businesses, a lot of self-employed people, almost over half of all self-employed or small business owners kind of rely on this. So it makes sense, seems to make sense, especially if you're business friendly. If you don't care about people, that's one thing, I get that. But isn't this one of those business friendly things? And here to talk about what the ACA and the subsidies and all this means to a small business owner, I've asked Katrina Golden to come share some thoughts. She is the owner of Little Mama's Sweets and Treats. They're in Augusta, Georgia. If you're ever there, make sure you find yourself at Little Mama's. Katrina, thanks for taking time for us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So let's start with the Sweets and Treats thing. What do we do?
Well, I tell everybody our tagline is we bake like your mama and your grandma used to or should have if they didn't. So we take the old school recipes, put a little new school spin on them, and we make a whole lot of people happy. I tell people often, I don't care about your A1C level, your waistline, or what diet you happen to be on. This is a no judgment zone, and we're just here to make you happy with a nice slice of cake.
Yeah, no, I happen to look at your website, littlemamasSweets.com. Make sure you check that out. Outstanding work. Let's get to why you're here. The reality is we're in a weird, screwed up situation. We've got a dysfunctional government of Republicans who say the Democrats won't let us do anything, even though they control all three branches of government and all levers of power. What does this mean to you in this moment as a small business owner? What does it mean that they're taking these subsidies away? Where do you find yourself?
We find ourselves struggling a little bit. Actually, more than a little bit. We are looking at having to raise our prices. We're having to look at whether or not we want to hire new staff, even though we could, use new staff a lot. But we're looking at whether or not we want to do that because we don't know how everything is going to shake out after it's all said and done. So we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants, if you will, and that's not a good place for small businesses, especially one like mine, to be.
No, and look, the uncertainty has got to be really difficult for small businesses like yours, because look, you probably don't have huge profit margins like the Tasty Cakes or the big bakery folks. So getting and keeping and holding on to employees has got to be fairly difficult, no?
Can be. The bane of our existence in any small business is finding, capable and help that wants to come and stay with you for a little while, because you get tired of having I would like to call it the McDonald's turnaround, where there's a new employee every other week. You don't want to do that because you spend time in training, you spend time just getting them onboarded, and then to find out that they're this is great, but I've done something else now.
No, I mean, the ACA, was one of those things where, look, I wanted much better. I'll be honest, up front, I'm a huge supporter of Medicare for all. I think having a national single-payer system, whether it's private or public, we can argue about that down the road. But cradle-to-grave insurance, that you're all in all the time, to me is the best system. This was the best we were going to get at the moment, and it has given people the security, the backing, and it has saved people's lives that I know, because they were never getting insurance under the old system. And if these subsidies go away, there's going to be a lot of people who can't afford it. So we're going to be right back, unfortunately, right back where we were pre-Obamacare or pre the Affordable Care Act. And I think that's a bad place for the country to be.
I fully agree. I lived when I was in the military, I lived in England and got to experience what they would call, the bad thing, the socialized health care. I got to experience that and was totally blown away. I'm writing back home saying, this is what we need to have here. Why don't we have this here? Why are we paying so much? I had to go to found myself in the emergency room and was taken care of, had follow-up care, everything, no cost to me. And even though I had healthcare as a service member where I was at the time, there was no military hospital that I could go to. So they, told us to go to what they call going to a hospital on the economy. And I was blown away. And even talking to, service member dependents, their wives and whatnot, seeing that they could get a midwife to come to the house for, postnatal care. I was sitting there like, this is what we need in America. Why don't we have this here? And then finding that there are people that are fighting against it is crazy. That as a small business owner, having the ACA is almost, a game changer for some of us small businesses, because we can't, at least I know in my business, it's difficult for me to even think about offering healthcare to my employees. Even though I'm covered, I'm fine. But you as an employer, you are concerned about your employees, and, being able to offer healthcare, even if it's on the marketplace, is a game changer in being able to find employees that want to stay with you for a little while.
Yeah. Now, you say you have health insurance. Where do you get your health insurance from?
I'm a retired federal government employee, so I kept the federal employees health benefits plan, and we also have the VA.
So you're a veteran, and this is one of those things that is interesting to me, because I see a lot of veteran-owned businesses. And look, good on our veterans. I'm happy for that. But one of the things that I've often said is, because they have that one thing that they can take off the table, that worrying about where am I going to get my health insurance, it's easier for them to start their own businesses. It's easier for them to be self-employed and do things that a lot of folks unfortunately aren't able to do. And this is, again, why we should have, if we were truly a democracy, since this seems to be everyone's number one issue, we might solve this problem.
It's an easy fix. really an easy fix. I have employees that take part in the ACA, and if that was to be taken away from them, which we're not going to get there, but if that were to be taken away from them, that could be the difference between them staying employed by me or going somewhere where they get paid more so they could afford more, because the health insurance premiums are supposed to be going up.
Yeah, but you gave me a moment there that made me think that you really care about this. Because look, these are people you look in the eye every day. These are people that you see. These are part of your family. Most small businesses I know, it's part of the family. So what would it mean for you to see these people who have given part of their life to you have this taken from them?
It's devastating, because it's one of those, they have a choice. Either they stay employed by us and have no health insurance because they can't afford it, or, well, three things, or they go somewhere where they're getting paid more and maybe that employer is offering health insurance, or they can afford it because they're getting paid more. If they choose to stay with us, then we're running the risk of them not going to the doctor when they need to. I mean, we take for granted, being able to go to, urgent care because you've got a fever, or, you've cut yourself or injured yourself some kind of way, and you can go to the local urgent care and get seen. If that were to happen, say, for example, I have an employee that, the weather is changing, people get colds in the wintertime. They can't afford to go see the doctor. They can't go to the urgent care. They can't go to the ER because they don't have insurance. Then they want to show up to work. Then I have to send them home. So now they're missing money and they're sick. Make it make sense.
Yeah. This is one of those things that, to be honest, it doesn't seem that difficult. But again, I go back to what I said a moment ago. If we were truly a democracy, we would solve these problems. And we're in this weird kind of spot right now where you've got everyone seeming to want to blame the Democrats for taking a stand and saying, no, we're not going to take health insurance away from people. And no, we're not going to take food out of the mouths of children. And no, we're not going to gut what's left of our meager social safety net so we can give tax cuts to billionaires. And yet no one's really pointing their finger at the Republicans going, you can negotiate, you can go back to the table, end the shutdown today by making sure that, well, Katrina's employees can bank on the healthcare subsidies that they've been getting to make health insurance a little more affordable.
That's everything. It's really just that simple. It's not a difficult thing, but people can make things difficult. We're grown enough to realize that it doesn't take much to make things difficult. It's really just that simple. If the folks on the other side would just come to the table and say, hey, let's talk about this. Let's negotiate. No, we're not going to get everything we want. And I understand that. That's part of negotiation. However, to just take health care off the table and to really just wanted to say, it's all or nothing. That's not a negotiation. That's almost a hostage situation.
No, that's exactly what it is. And the thing is we were told, Katrina, and I don't know maybe you got the memo, but we were told that they were going to run government like a business. So you, as a small business owner, someone who has to make payroll, someone who has to order things, someone has to make sure the customers are happy and the product's good. Are you looking at our government going, this is an efficiently run business? After all, we spent a lot of money on the Department of Government Efficiency. So I got to ask you, as a small business owner, are you seeing it?
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. I don't think I can say exactly how I want to say it, but I'm not seeing it at all. As a business owner who has been in business for quite a few years now, this is the most inefficient way to run a business that I've seen in my lifetime. This is not.
No, look, if you ran your business like this, if you ran Little Mamas like this, Little Mama would be out of business. Little Mama would be on the street corner. And the sad reality,
6 months.
Right. And the sad reality is that what we're seeing out of this administration, if you were to treat your workers like this government is treating the federal workforce, you wouldn't have any. And this is the weird thing. You as a retired federal employee, you got to have some thoughts on what Trump and the Republicans are doing, not just the federal workers, but the workers across the board.
Our coffee shop is located inside the VA hospital downtown Augusta. The VA hospital itself and the workers inside the VA hospital itself are not affected by as much by the shutdown. However, those outside the hospital that work for the VA are affected. Things, it's a trickle down effect, like a domino effect that starts happening. And as a former or retired federal employee, I've been through 2 shutdowns. The second one was under the same administration that we have right now. And I'm sitting here wondering, why are we doing this again? It didn't work the last time. In fact, it was disastrous the last time. So why are we doing this again? Why are we using federal employees and the American people as pawns? Why are we collateral damage because you're mad at somebody?
Yeah. See, I could end these shutdowns tomorrow, which is, if you don't pay people, they don't come to work. And if they don't come to work, nothing gets done until we solve our problems. And oh, by the way, you don't get to go home when everything goes belly up. You stay and do your job. Because if we locked 100 senators into a room and said you don't leave until you get something, and 435 members of Congress in a room and say you don't get to go home, you don't get to see the kids, no pot roast on Sunday, do your job, maybe, I don't know, maybe, do you think, possibly?
I think they would have it solved within 24 hours.
See, it shouldn't be that hard, should it?
It's not. Like I said, as a retired federal employee, I feel for my coworkers, my former coworkers that are still employed by the federal government. They're going on, I think we're at 30 days now, and some of them are essential employees. I was one when I was employed by the federal government during the last shutdown. I was an essential employee, so I had to go to work and didn't get a paycheck until it was all over. It's not a good place to be. It's not a good place to be. You still have, you might not get a paycheck, but you still have your electric bill to pay, your water bill to pay, your mortgage, car note. Those things are not on hold, even though your paycheck is.
No, and that's the problem with all this. We should pass that immediately. But let me ask you about that, because you said you went through 2 of these. How? The reality is, as you pointed out, the bills keep coming, the wages stop. You got to go show up to work. Again, it's one of those things that I just shake my head over and go, how is it we keep doing this over and over? So I guess where I want to go with this is, what words of wisdom do you have for folks? What would help? Any thoughts?
It will eventually end. That's about all I can say.
Really? You think?
You can keep hope alive, that it will eventually end.
There it is. That's the hope.
And yeah, you got to keep hope alive. You got to have hope that it will eventually end and it will get better. We can hope that it will get better. And, to those that are out there that have to go to work and, your paycheck last Friday was $0, my heart is out there to you. Been there, done that. It didn't feel good.
So what?
If you don't have a safety net, then you're just out there.
That's the horrible situation we're in, and far too many workers in this country don't have that safety net. So last bit I got to get from you is what's the message to Congress? I mean, look, you're doing everything that we told you to do. You went out, you started a business, you're employing people, you're working hard, you're playing by the rules, and you guys seem to be the ones getting screwed over while they're still on vacation. Any words for our illustrious leaders in our halls of power?
I would tell them to come back to work. Come back to work. If I have to go to work every day and serve the people, then you should be able to come to work and serve the people. Using the federal employees or the American people, period, because it's a domino effect. If somebody's not getting paid by something, that means somebody else is not getting money from them, and somebody else is not getting money from them, and then it starts affecting everyone. And we're seeing it in our shop because our sales are down because people are holding on to the money that they have. Coffee for some is, a necessity. It is for me, but for others, it is not. So come back to work, make it happen. Let's get this, over with. Negotiate, come to the table, negotiate, and let's get this done.
The one thing that does trickle down now, tax cuts for billionaires, we haven't seen that trickle down, but the pain that they cause because of their bad policies, that most certainly trickles down. Katrina, I appreciate your time. I hope folks will check out Little Mama's Sweets. They're at littlemamasweets.com. And if you're in Augusta, Little Mama's Sweets and Treats, they're in Augusta. Katrina, thanks so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I've enjoyed it.
I appreciate your time. Want to hear your thoughts? Email me, rick@thericksmithshow.com. You ready for this to end? And if you're a small business owner, What's this mean to you and your business? Want to hear your thoughts? Rick at thericksmithshow.com. Quick break. Right back. I'm Rick Smith, and this is Labor History in 2. On this day in labor history, the year was 2009. That was the day more than 5,000 Philadelphia transit workers walked off the job. For 6 days, buses, subways, and trolleys that carried close to 500,000 commuters a day came to a screeching halt. The strike defied then Governor Ed Rendell's orders for both sides to stay at the bargaining table. The union planned to strike during the World Series, but pushed back the strike date under threat of serious consequences made by the governor. For months, the Southeastern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority, or SEPTA, stalled contract talks. The authority hoped to rip up workers' abilities to choose work assignments based on seniority rights. They also looked to eliminate jobs through speed up. The union was determined to hang tough despite a steady barrage of anti-union commentary in the media. Local editorials smeared workers as ingrates and whined that they weren't sufficiently thankful to simply have a job in such hard economic times. More cynical writers contended that sticking points on healthcare were resolved when SEPTA agreed to cover the cost of Viagra. Authorities, including Philadelphia Mayor Michael Nutter, claimed the union was being unreasonable in the face of such generous terms offered by transit management. But TWU Local 234 successfully defeated the boss's offense to wrestle away benefits and work rule concessions. The union demanded wage increases and limits to employee health care contributions. Irate union members insisted on independent audits to reveal where years of pension money went. They accused SEPTA of raiding the already underfinanced pension fund. The union eventually conceded on pension contributions, but the strike was a victory. TWU members showed that even in difficult times, a successful fight could be waged against cutbacks and hard-won rights.
You're listening to The Rick Smith Show, where working people come to talk.
So, got a message with a link to an article from WTAJ in Altoona, Pennsylvania. The story that was sent to me, UPMC cuts Medicare coverage in 12 central Pennsylvania counties. So, I'm reading this and I'm going, they're cutting Medicare coverage in 12 counties? Which 12? And they go through and they name off these 12 counties. The article goes, UPMC for life members living in Adams Center, Clinton, Elk, Forest, didn't even know there was a Forest County in Pennsylvania, Fulton, Jefferson, Juniata, Mifflin, Snyder, Sullivan, and Tioga counties may have already received a letter informing them that their Medicare coverage through UPMC would end on December 31st. And they go through and they list the following plans that were there. You don't get to the part where it's not Medicare, it's Medicare Advantage, the privatized portions of Medicare. Because according to the article, according to a spokesperson for UPMC, these cuts are going to allow the healthcare conglomerate to strengthen offerings in core markets and invest in the benefits and services that matter most to their members. But what about the members in those 12 counties? See, this is why privatization is really not great. This is what happens because all of those counties that I listed are very red, massively red counties. Went for Trump. I think the one went for Trump like 80%. These are MAGA. This is MAGA country being told, we're going to be cutting these programs. Now, my response was, I don't care because, I'm not a Medicare Advantage fan. I think it's a giant ripoff. I think it's a screw job for working people. And I'm glad to see that there's some messaging out there that goes, it's bad. We're turning Medicare, the thing that's supposed to insure us in our old age, we're turning it into the crappy insurance most of us have right now. Which, not good. So as I'm having this conversation about this, I'm okay with it because they're going to go back to having traditional Medicare. Now, are there some problems there? Sure, but we can fix those if we wanted to. That then turned into a conversation about the ACA. And understand, I've never been a huge fan of the Affordable Care Act. I wasn't a big fan of Obamacare either. Like the name better. But they're the same for those who don't know, because I'm a single payer guy. I think having one giant insurance pool where everyone is in, cradle to grave, gives us the opportunity to, well, not pay CEOs hundreds of millions of dollars, not pay profiteers to privatize our healthcare system, and to actually, I don't know, through policy, decide what kind of a system we want. I'm a big believer in democracy, huge believer in we the people, and I do believe that we could, if this were truly a democracy, we could have healthcare for everybody, and it'd be second to none, and not with all of the problems that we've got now and all the ones that we're afraid of from a single payer system. I think for what we pay for health insurance in this country, I think we could easily care for everyone. And this is where the conversation turned, because this was a learning moment for this person. Because, well, I was looking at what it would cost for someone to get the ACA health insurance. And, for someone making $25,000, it was this much. It was like a grand a year or something. But, a couple making $80,000, they're going to have to pay like $25,000 a year. And I'm going, yeah, you figured out what a benefits cliff is. You figured out what conservatives have poison pilled into all of these programs, whether it's food stamps, LIHEAP, or the ACA. You've figured it out. Congratulations. And now you've also figured out why Democrats are making this stand. Because it's not affordable. And it's not that it's just not affordable for a couple making $80,000. It's not affordable for the person making 25. When you take these subsidies away, it becomes unaffordable. But I don't know. That's the amazing part for me. But I don't know. Because as I've said before, we're a smart country. We got smart people here. If we truly wanted to do what's in the interest of we the people and not just the profiteers, not just the people who win this game, we could easily have a system that did care for everyone. The question is will we? Because understand how our system works. It's pretty simple. We the people, through Medicaid, through Medicare, take care of people who are the most costly. The elderly, the poor, the disabled. We've decided that we're going to get them health care through a government program, Medicare, Medicaid. Now you've got conservatives and some corporate Democrats who have tried to poison pill that and kill it off and defund it, and that's what's going on. And then everybody else, if you're able-bodied enough to go to work, you then end up working for some corporation who gives you whatever it is you get. And while you still have that job, and look, I've got the best healthcare money can buy right now. I can't say that in 6 months. I can't say that in a year. Don't know where I'm going to be. So having an employer-based system ties you to a job that you have to keep. Mobility gets kind of hard and gives you very few options. The ACA kind of opened that up, which is why so many people who are self-employed, who have started small businesses, why they depend on the ACA. But again, that's a conversation that's fairly difficult to have. Because the moneyed interests, they want to keep their nose they want to keep their snout in the trough. They want to keep that medical money coming in. And well, we're not smart enough sometimes, I don't think, to realize that we are paying more than every other country in the world by a lot, and not getting anywhere close to what we should be. And now you've got Republicans who are hell-bent, and John Fetterman, who are hell-bent on reopening the government and instituting these cuts to health, the affordability part of the ACA, so they can kill it. And that's the plan. To kill. It's always been. The repeal and replace people have been, 100 times they voted without ever really coming out what the replacement is. We got to wake up, and we got to stand up. We got to fight back. We got to be calling these people if they come back to work. Mailing everything. Because if you want health insurance that isn't all of your income, we better do something about it. I want to hear your thoughts. Email me, rick@thericksmithshow.com. What is the Republican plan? I want to hear it, rick@thericksmithshow.com. Miss any portion of the program, grab the podcast. And as always, thanks so much for being here. We'll see you back here next time.
You've been listening to The Rick Smith Show. Email Rick at rick@thericksmithshow.com. Until next time, this has been The Rick Smith Show, where working people come to talk.
WCPT Replay.
I am, of course, thrilled to be joined by Simon Rosenberg. There is an incredible body of language and thought and argumentation around encouraging violence on the right against those other people. There is no such ideology on the left. It just doesn't exist. In fact, our movement is desperately, ferociously fighting to preserve rule of law and democracy. Battling liberalism is the central undertaking of our collective project. And we've seen millions and millions and millions of people this year, tens of millions, protest legally without any incident. It's incredible how many people have been on the street this year with no incidents of any kind. Mm-hmm. All of this is we're channeling our frustrations in the way that you do in a democracy.
Keep listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Not only does Progressive let you bundle your insurance, but they also give you round-the-clock protection. Quote today at Progressive.com.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. The Trump administration indicates it will only partially fund the SNAP food aid program as the government shutdown drags into November. Jeff Mulvihill reports.
President Trump's administration said the federal government will cover about half of November's usual costs. SNAP is the nation's largest food aid program, and it helps about 42 million Americans, approximately 1 in 8, buy groceries each month.
It's unclear how much beneficiaries will receive or how quickly it'll show up on their SNAP debit cards. The November payments have already been delayed for millions. Meantime, Lisa Dwyer reports.
The government shutdown is triggering a wave of closures of Head Start centers, leaving many working parents scrambling for childcare and shutting some of the nation's neediest children out of preschool. Dozens of centers are missing out on federal grant payments that were due to arrive November 1st. Some have closed indefinitely, while others are staying afloat with emergency funding from local governments and school districts. The closures mean Head Start children who come from low-income households or are homeless or are in foster care are missing out on preschool. They are also missing out on the 2 meals a day that they receive at school, plus therapy sessions deemed vital to their development. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
And 3-time Academy Award nominee Diane Ladd has died at 89. In 1993, Ladd, whose daughter is fellow actor Laura Dern, told AP she preferred to date older men.
I've been asked out by a lot of younger men. And I guess I feel funny. I don't want to do it because I guess I'm used to, like my daughter, dating some older men. If I date younger men, I want to be dating men the same age as my daughter, and that just I can't handle that. But I like older men for myself because I like to look younger. So dating older men makes me feel younger.
This is AP News. In Rome, a worker who had been trapped for hours beneath rubble at a medieval tower has died after firefighters rescued him. Charles Deladesma reports the tower partially collapsed during renovation work.
Witnesses describe the moment the tower in the heart of Italy's capital near the famous Roman Forum ruins collapsed. Romano Cresciani saw the building initially crumble, while Florian Sadiki, a tourist from Germany, says it collapsed a second time a while later.
We just sat outside, we're watching at the building, and it suddenly collapsed again, because this was the second time, and I don't think they were expecting something more.
I'm Charles Deladesma.
The man did not withstand the trauma he suffered when the building fell in. Italy's Premier Giorgia Meloni expressed deep sorrow and condolences, adding we're close to his family and colleagues at this time of unspeakable suffering.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, AM 820 WCPT Willow Springs, AM 1240 WSBC Chicago, and streaming worldwide at WCPT820.com. Try being at home with Patti Vasquez.
Really, we need to start accepting that the vision that these people have, the Heritage Foundation, Musk, Alito, and Clarence Thomas, they are prepping us for a dictatorship. We need to destroy the democracy from the inside, making it dysfunctional and not functioning at all, so that they can take it over with their form of dictatorship and make this a corporate entity.
Patti Vasquez, weeknights 5 to 7 on WCPT 820.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because feeling full can sound like this.
How did the interview go? I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
And like this.
Mom, I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/act now. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
As farmers and ranchers, stewardship of the land comes naturally. Your work keeps our water clean, improves the soil, and enhances wildlife habitat. It also provides countless benefits, not just for you and your family, but for millions of Americans who depend on this region every day without even realizing it. Thank you for being stewards of America's prairie for all of us. Take a moment to find out how conservation pays. Visit conservationpays.org.
For the longest time, it was hard for me to even get out of the house, much less do a backside 180. It took me a bit to understand what was going on, but eventually I learned I had anxiety. Now I'm getting help for it and feeling so much better. Sure, some days are better than others, but the whole thing about getting out of the house, that's not really an issue anymore.
Mental health care is working. See what it can do for you at mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
Being blind doesn't always look how others may think.
Retinitis pigmentosa aimed to overwhelm my family.
It tried to cut me down. I know where to find support and where I can be seen.
Innovative research, educational resources, supportive community.
The Foundation Fighting Blindness is leading the charge in finding treatments and cures for blinding diseases. Learn more at fightingblindness.org.
A public service message from the Foundation Fighting Blindness.
Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT 820, where facts matter.
It's political. Step up to the bar. Thinking critical. You'll think at the bar, wherever you are, the politics bar. It's Sean Smith Pierce and Jody Hamilton.
Hey, Jody!
Hey, Sean!
Guess what?
What?
Your freaking Dodgers won the World Series, baby!
What? Is that what's happening in this town?
Well, a little bit of a party hanging out at Jody's end of the bar tonight.
I think the parade's still happening right now.
I think the parade is going to be going on all night long and probably for several days. I mean,
Well, the fireworks were insane, apparently.
Well,
I don't live close enough, but it was insane.
It is the Dodgers, after all, and congrats to everybody who was a Dodgers fan. Congrats, by the way, also to all of you great Toronto fans as well.
Absolutely.
So we'll talk about the entertainment stuff. Plenty of politics going on. It is, after all, the Gilded Age again. Ugh. Anyway, we'll talk about Donnie's complete lack of understanding what the hell is going on and what part of the universe that he and Republicans are in. Of course, shutdown still going on. Last check here. We'll get to all of it. Big thanks, by the way, to all of our great affiliates, wherever you happen to be listening to us on, whether that happens to be WCPT AM 820 in Chicago or AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul. Maybe you are listening on Georgia Now Radio and the ATL. Thank you, Atlanta. Maybe you are listening on Detour Talk in Tennessee. We love you, Tennessee, and Progressive Voices Radio worldwide. Maybe you're listening there, wherever you happen to be. Of course, you could just be one of those brilliant people, brilliant future people. Who happen to be listening to us both live and on their podcast. They've subscribed on their phone. They picked up their phone. They're like, hey, and they put our stuff in, and they're like, isn't that great? Or maybe they subscribe to thepoliticsbar.com, which we actually we're going to make a big push this month. We want to make sure that you have us in your podcast player and that you're getting it ad-free, which you can do at thepoliticsbar.com. $6 a month, like $1.50. Here's the thing. We're heading towards the holiday season, right, Jody?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you know that you can give our podcast at thepoliticsbar.com as a gift?
I did not. That's amazing. I think people should do that.
Exactly. Of course, you want to give it to the people who, you know, are good people, that they have good politics, and they're going to vote decently, or they may already have voted decently. But, of course, you know that uncle or that auntie you got, you know, the one that's got a little bit. You could certainly gift them that.
Yes,
well.
absolutely, because they could learn a thing or two.
Just saying. Just check it out. Go there, thepoliticsbar.com. So, yes, I knew that you knew that the Dodgers. I mean, who didn't know that the Dodgers won? That was freaking amazing. Did you?
11 innings, man. I mean,
were you asleep? Did you have to watch it on like replay?
I was asleep.
I figured. I was still up, and I was like, yeah, which is pretty cool. So,
and it was our catcher that winning home run, man. It was
yeah. I mean, but here's the big thing too. To me, is that the surprise players. Toronto did an amazing job, and they
were great. They were really, really good. It was a great series. If you're going to watch a World Series, this is the one to watch.
Yeah,
it was
and
a great
I mean,
series.
you know, it even went 11 innings. You know, I was joking with a couple different people about the fact of, can we have more baseball? Can we have more baseball? And then suddenly you're like, well, you guys asked more baseball. So.
Well, I mean, they did do the double header when they were down here.
Yeah, 18 innings. There was that. So, you know, that's
crazy.
Do not ask a Dodgers fan how long they can go. Just saying. Don't think like
midnight LA time, man.
Don't think like
LA
that.
time.
God, get your mind out of the gutter, people. Jeez, I don't know where you get those strange.
Sean Louise.
Just saying. So there is a lot going on today in the news on tap. Of course, we've got that for you. We've got a great drink of the day a little bit later as well, celebrating, among other things, the mixing of drinks.
Right.
We'll talk about that. And, of course, Brooklyn Dad Defiant coming in tonight. He's got a good piece up on his Defiant Dispatches Substack. We'll talk about that. But, of course, first thing to talk about over the weekend here happens to be in the first round of the news on tab. So mixed news today in the shutdown stuff. So the Trump regime finally admitting that judges are, in fact, correct, and they do actually have to follow the law in the Trump regime.
What? Wait.
Yeah, I know. I was completely shocked as well. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Really? But magically, the judges kind of, you know, waved their hand and said, "Hey, jackass, you have to actually follow the law." And,
you think?
Finally, after several days, I think we talked about it Friday. You know, we were here in the bar, and Friday afternoon, Friday evening, whatever, they said, oh, you know, one did one and one did the other. There were two judges, one in Boston, one in Rhode Island. They said, you got to follow the law. Over the weekend, Trump was like, I might. Remember, while the Trump regime over the weekend said they might follow the law, people's SNAP benefits they were still not getting their SNAP benefits.
No, they were not.
Now, they are making partial SNAP benefits available. Basically, people will approximately get half as much.
It's better than nothing.
Exactly. Some states, California, I think, will be able to actually provide a little bit more because they will boost it up with state funds, so whatever. And they're letting the states, I guess, pour the money into the SNAP accounts, which, yay, whatever. But while this is going on, and you got literally 42 million Americans or more who are effectively starving, not being able to get food.
Yeah.
Trump and some of his Republicans, big Republican donors, were holding a party down at Mar-a-Lago.
They're so gilded.
Oh, my God.
And Gatsby, of all things, do they not read?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So for those of you, explain, Jody, the Gatsby reference, because some people, maybe they haven't read F. Scott Fitzgerald. And no, I am not saying F. Scott Fitzgerald, although I may not like Scott.
Say that.
Well,
but...
I may not like Scott. I may be like, hey, F. Scott Fitzgerald, but I'm not talking about that. I'm saying specifically the writer F. Scott Fitzgerald. What is the Gatsby reference for those people who've missed it?
Well, I mean, it's all about indulgence, and it's during the Roaring '20s. What happened after the Roaring '20s, kids? Think.
Right.
For a second.
Exactly. The Great Depression. We just had a drink of the day the other day that was, what was it, last week? Last Thursday, last Wednesday that talked about that? The crash and how we basically spent until 1954 when the GDP got back up again. It was almost 20 years. So.
Well, and I was telling you before we started the show tonight that when my mom was getting the Mark Twain Prize in 2013,
right,
we all flew out to D.C. so that we could be with her for that.
Right.
And there was an opportunity to meet President Obama, but the government was shut down at the time.
Oh, that was that shutdown. Okay, shut down by Republicans back then again, right?
Mhm.
They were trying to,
And-
I think, stop Obamacare, stop the ACA.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Convenient that they're still doing the same.
They're
thing.
still trying.
Anyway.
But so we might have been able to meet President Obama, but the caveat was he will not meet with you guys. Would be my mom, my aunt, my sister, my nephew, my dad, my mom's husband, and Angie, who works for my mom.
Mm-hmm.
We may not be able to meet with the president if the shutdown is still happening, because it would be bad optics for him to meet with a celebrity while the government is shut down.
Repeat that last little bit there, just for clarity. So Carol Burnett, your mom, Carol, was in D.C. for the Mark Twain Prize during the shutdown, and the Obama administration said what?
They said the president would love to meet with you in the Oval, but if the government is still shut down before you guys leave town, it's bad optics for him to greet you at the in the Oval Office because the government shut down. He should be working. And so luckily it was reopened by the time things were done, and we did get to meet him, and it was lovely. But it was that was the reasoning, is like, we won't know until we know. So just
be aware.
Be aware. We had all our flights changed just in case.
Right.
So we were staying in town anyway. But it was really like, he can't meet with you if the government is still shut down because it's bad optics.
Now let's compare that, folks. At the same time, that was the optics under Obama.